This is the Washington Senators Baseball Network. We can only hope the fans of Washington will be rewarded in the near future with a new Major League franchise.
You know, on September 30th, 1971, the Washington Senators played their last game. Nearly 33 years to the day since they left, baseball is back in Washington, D.C.
Welcome to the Z104 and WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network. Now live, Charlie Flows and Dave Shea.
And we are live from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The moment is here. The hour is here. In fact, they just rang the Liberty Bell as we get set for Day 1, Chapter 1, Verse 1, whatever you want to call it. It's the beginning of an era, the beginning of a new baseball history in the nation's capital as the Washington Nationals open their inaugural season here at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Charlie Slows along with Dave Shea. You can talk about it all you want. Now it's time to get the show on the road. It's on the road leading up to the home opener, April the 14th at RFK Stadium, where, Dave, we got a taste of things yesterday.
Well, Vieira, Florida, and training camp, they're behind us, and the regular season is dead ahead, and there's so much excitement around both clubs on this opening day. The great thing about opening day in baseball, Charlie, it's spring hopes eternal for everybody. And both ball clubs are hoping for big things this season.
You know, for that one moment, whether you're considered a contender to win a division, even if you're not, everybody feels like they have a chance on opening day no matter what happened in the past. And Frank Robinson said it in the pregame show that it's a chance for everybody at this point, that special postseason feeling, if only for a day.
Well, let's run down your starting lineups for today's historical opening game of the season for the Washington Nationals. Brad Wilkerson will lead off playing center field. Christian Guzman, the shortstop, hits second. Jose Vidro bats third and plays second. The cleanup hitter, the right fielder, Jose Guillen. Dick Johnson is batting fifth and playing first. Vinny Castillo, the third baseman, will hit sixth. Termel Sledge gets the start in left field today and hits seventh. The catcher, Brian Schneider, bats eighth. And Levan Hernandez, the pitcher, will hit ninth. For the Philadelphia Phillies, Jimmy Rollins, their shortstop, will lead it off. Placido Polanco, the second baseman, bats second. Bobby Abreu plays right and hits third. The ever-powerful Jim Thome will play first and back cleanup. Pat Burrell will be in left, hitting fifth. Batting sixth, the speedy Kenny Lofton. He'll be in center field today. David Bell plays third and hits seventh. Mike Lieberthal, the catcher, bats eighth. And John Lieber, the pitcher, will be hitting ninth. The umpiring crew today, Gary Darling will be calling the balls and strikes. Larry Foncino will be down at first base. Mark Wegner will handle the calls at second, and Paul Nowert will be down at third. 330 down the right field line, 329 down the left field line in this multi-dimensional ballpark, a beautiful park, Citizens Bank Park, absolutely picturesque on a beautiful sunshiny day. Well, the warm-up tosses are over. John Lieber is ready to go to work and also ready to go with the call of the game. Here's Charlie Slows.
Thank you very much, Dave Shea. Good luck to you, partner. Let's have a great year. We're ready for it, folks. We hope you are wherever you're tuned in this afternoon. Brad Wilkerson in the Nationals' all-road gray uniforms, debuting for the first time with navy blue and red trim. Washington across the chest with a number below it. Into the left-hand hitter's batter's box. And John Lieber's into the windup in the first pitch to a Washington Nationals player. Is a fastball in there. A called strike at 3:07 p.m. It's the dawning of a new baseball era for the nation's capital. Wilkerson hit .212 for the spring, 11 for 52, but hit 4 home runs. Takes an off-speed pitch high, and the count 1-1. Of course, .255 last year, 32 homers and 67 runs batted in. Playing center field, and the pitch, a fastball swung on and missed. It's a ball and 2 strikes. John Lieber throws a fastball in the low 90s, a slider and a changeup. 3 years and $21 million brought him to Philadelphia after the Yankees had signed him year before he came back from Tommy John surgery. Swinging a pop-up foul off to the left side. This will make the first row in the club level to our left. Nice grab by gentleman there who's playing hooky from the office today. We know there are a lot of people here in Philadelphia who took off from work. And with a 3:05 start, some still on the way from school and whatnot. They're still coming in. Pitch swung on and hit in the air to shallow right. Out goes the second baseman Polanco. In comes Abreu, the right fielder, and it drops in for a base hit for Brad Wilkerson. Abreu came on looking like he thought he was going to have a play in shallow right center. And the wind, we thought we'd be done with these fierce winds when we left Florida. It is gusting toward the right field foul pole across from left field. Might have blown that one back toward the infield a bit.
Well, the way the ballpark is configured, you've got 2 decks in right field. You've got 1 deck and a tall scoreboard in left and an open end in dead center. So there's going to be a lot of different winds directions throughout the ball game.
Second year for this mark is Christian Guzman, the shortstop, is at the plate. Switch hitter batting left-handed, takes the pitch low, 1 no strikes as David Bell is shortened in onto the grass at third base. New baseball for Lieber, who's allowed to blow on his hand while on the pitching mound on this brisk day. Several of the players, though, in the short sleeves. Tomey at first, the pitcher Lieber, Bell at third. And Brad Wilkerson, he's not wearing the long sleeves. He's a tough guy. Takes his lead off first. And the pitch on the way. Guzman hits a chopper back to the mound. Lieber's going to throw to second for one. Relay to first, not in time by the shortstop Jimmy Rollins. Christian Guzman really busting it down that line. He can get out of the box and is able to beat the relay on that chopper. Fielded in front of the mound by John Lieber. So 1 out, 1 on. Guzman hit 258 in the spring, 274 for the Twins last year. And the batter is Jose Vitro. Vitro, of course, was shut down last year with a knee injury limiting him to 110 games. Where he hit 294, 14 homers, 60 RBIs. For the spring, played in only 14 games, 8 for 39, a 205 average. With the tweaking of a shoulder also limiting his action, not a shoulder, actually hyperextended his elbow during batting practice. And so they took no chances with him. Had surgery in the right knee August the 26th. And the first pitch still to come to Vitro after Lieber had thrown over to first base. Several other openers around baseball today. We'll keep you updated as Guzman takes the lead off first. And the pitch is swung on here in the air, sliced down the left field line. Long run for Pat Burrell. Will he get there? Makes the catch in foul ground. Heading back to first, Christian Guzman. Pat Burrell racing toward the left field line. And not a lot of room when you cross over that line. The stand's very close to the field of play. And he made a nice play in left field, wary of the padded wall and wary of the sun he was looking up into. So Vitro gets one pitch and fouls out to the left fielder for the second out of the inning. And Jose Guillen will make his Washington Nationals debut wearing number 6. We talked about yesterday, drive that away with some doing from Brad Wilkerson. Guillen hit 268 in the spring, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. And a pitch in the dirt, ball 1, as Lieberthal has to chase it off to the left of home plate. Guillen hit 27 homers, knocked in 104 in a career best year for the Angels last year. Manager Jim Bowden had him in Cincinnati a couple of years ago, and he did well enough there for Jim to go after him once again. And a swing and a miss, a strike and the count 1-1. Guillen was having a big year for the Reds. 337 average in 91 games, 23 homers, 63 RBIs. In 2003 was playing essentially because Ken Griffey Jr. was hurt. When they came back, they traded him before the deadline to Oakland. Swing and a miss, strike 2, as he missed the fastball. And Guillen, wound up hitting 265 in 45 games, 8 homers with Oakland. He signed with the Anaheim Angels as a free agent before last year, and had his best year ever before things went sour for him in the very last week of the season when Mike Scioscia replaced him for a pinch runner. Swing and a miss, and a pitch down and away, went after the slider, and he strikes out to end the inning. So leadoff bloop single by Brad Wilkerson. The Nationals unable to get that runner around. They leave a man aboard. We head to the bottom of the first. Livan Hernandez heads to the mound. It's the Nationals nothing and the Phillies coming up.
Now, when Amtrak Guest Rewards members take 2 round trips for business on a Stella Express or Metro liner between select city pairs through May 31st, they get 1 round trip free. In other words, hey boss, I think I need to visit the client again. Plus, purchase any qualifying trip with any MasterCard card and you'll earn double points toward more free travel. Amtrak Guest Rewards members can sign up for this offer at www.amtrakguestrewards.com/AE105. Visit www.amtrak.com or call 1-800-USA Rail to book today. Sign up required to qualify. Visit the website or call for details and restrictions. Your dog eats your new sofa. Pet satisfaction rating 3%. Your hairdresser doesn't know burnt auburn from burnt toast. Hair color satisfaction rating 5%. After years of marriage, your husband still leaves the seat up. Spouse satisfaction rating -2%. Your car insurance company saves you hundreds of dollars and handles your claim quickly and fairly. Car insurance satisfaction rating 97%. Oh, you must have Geico.
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO.
Hi, it's Z104's Jenny for Alays. With baseball season here, that means summer is just around the corner. Are you ready for the shorts and tank tops? Well, I am because I've been Alays. Alays is the most recommended laser hair removal provider in D.C., having performed over 70,000 treatments.
Join Alays for the countdown to summer the week of April 11th and save up to 40% off Alays laser hair removal packages and 30% off skin aesthetic packages. Call 1-877-55-ALASE. That's 1-877-552-5273 or visit getalays.com.
This is the Z104 WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network.
It is the bottom of the first inning and no score as Livan Hernandez takes his warm-up tosses, his second straight opening day assignment for this franchise. 6'2" and 245 pounds, the 30-year-old native of Villa Clara, Cuba. Cuban defector makes his offseason home in Miami Beach. 111, lost 15 last year in Montreal, a 3.60 ERA. In 35 starts, leading the league in starts, led with complete games with 9. A couple of shutouts was third, led the league in innings with 255. Only 234 hits allowed. He struck out 186 and walked 83. He allowed 26 homers, hit 10 batters, a wild pitch, a 248 average against him. 258 for the lefties with 16 homers, 238 for the right-handed hitters against Hernandez with a total of 10 home runs. And Livan Hernandez will come at you with a variety of pitches, fastball, curveball, slider, and change. And we certainly will mix it up. So Livan Hernandez on the mound for the Nationals with Brian Schneider doing the catching, Nick Johnson at first, Jose Vidro at second, Christian Guzman at short, and Vinny Castilla is the third baseman in the outfield. Termel Sledge in left, Brad Wilkerson in center, and Jose Guillen in right field.
Brian Schneider, Charlie, just came out of the dugout. Everybody waiting for Brian, and he has on the old-style catcher's mask. So quite evidently, he had an equipment problem with his hockey goalie-type mask that he's been using all spring.
I wonder if he's using a different one for the road than at home, color-coordinated guy that he is.
What?
He was using a gray one down in spring training. So he's got the gray shin guards and chest protector. Fastball to the outside corner, recalled strikes. Maybe they need to make some adjustments to the brand new one.
Maybe.
He might have a red one at home, a gray one on the road. Maybe the one in spring training was from last year or something. We'll have to find out about that. Castilla shortens at third as Hernandez delivered a strike. Next one swung on and laced toward the left field line. That's going to fall for a base hit. Sledge over to get it. Rollins can fly on his way to second. And he puts the brakes on and goes back. He was almost halfway to second. Sledge able to get to it quickly. And so he fired it back into the infield towards second base. And Rollins aboard with a single. And you've got to pay attention to him. He stole 30 in 39 tries last year. Good for 7th in the National League.
Well, Termel Sledge being a left-handed thrower, I think that helped him there. He was able to stab it with the glove and plant and pivot normally as opposed to having to try to plant and throw across his body. And I think Rollins recognized that and knew that the throw was going to be a good one.
Now the pitch on the way to the number 2 hitter, Placido Polanco, is inside and high, ball 1. Polanco was offered arbitration. Phillies didn't think he was going to accept, did after hitting 298 last year, 17 homers, 55 RBIs. They expected that the starter was going to be the youngster. Throw to first, he dives back in. Chase Utley at second base after he did well in 94 games last year. Then Polanco muddied things up for manager Charlie Manuel by hitting 397 for the spring.
Mixed emotions.
Yeah, so he can play both of them. And has 2 starting second basemen. Polanco can play third base as well, and some short. Takes a pitch on the inside corner, a strike. He's a right-handed hitter, and Utley, a left-handed hitter, normally would play against the righties, but that would mean Polanco wouldn't play very much because you don't see that much left-handed pitching. So he's going to have to get some Polanco in there against the right-handed starters, and chose to do that today against Livan Hernandez, whom he has hit well against. And that's one reason that he's in there this afternoon. Livan has the sign and come set. And the pitch on the way is taken outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Polanco 15 for 42. That's 357 with a triple. 3 walks against Livan Hernandez in his career. It's the type of stuff you roto guys need to know. Information you may not get anywhere else.
Roster should be set for your fantasy clubs.
Throw to first, and he's back standing this time with Nick Johnson holding the runner. Livan Hernandez, career record of 95 and 94 in 248 big league games. He sets and delivers a fastball that is low. He falls behind 3-1. During the spring, Nationals pitchers didn't waste much time issuing bases on balls. I mean, command of the starting pitchers in particular was terrific during the spring. So he digs back in, does Polanco. And the pitch swung on and sliced down the right field line. That'll be foul and going out of play. So we have a full count at 3-2. Hernandez was 2-2 in 6 starts in the spring, 2.18 ERA. Just 31 hits in 33 innings, 2 homers, 3 walks, and 19 strikeouts. We saw a lot of lines like that where the strikeouts were far better than the walk ratio, and that's what you'd love to see. Still coming in, 43,826 capacity here at Citizens Bank Park. And Hernandez sets. And the runner goes. Pitch is swung on, hit in the air to center field. Wilkerson to his right there and makes the catch. Rollins will turn and head back to first as Polanco lines out through the center fielder. Now, Wilkerson told you in the warm-up show that, yeah, it would have been nice to take some fly balls in center field before opening day if you knew you were going to play there. But Ryan Church was the guy going to play there until tweaking a groin in the game yesterday on the wet field at RFK. And he says he told everybody yesterday and today that he could play today, but Frank Robinson taking no chances. He'll give him a couple of days. Since it's still cool and, the start and stops of baseball, sudden starts, that's how he did it yesterday on the wet surface.
Too long a season, Charlie, to rush somebody out there unnecessarily right now.
And he wasn't going to start an Ironman streak today, was he?
I don't think so.
Runner goes, pitches high, throw down by Schneider, one hop, and into center field. Rollins up on his feet and heading to third base, and he is there standing. That'll be a stolen base and a throwing error on Brian Schneider, normally about as reliable as it gets throwing to second base. He's led the National League catchers in percentage of getting would-be base stealers the last couple of years, 48% last year, just under 47% the year before. Schneider does have that hockey goalie catcher's mask. It's gray or silver. It was brought back out to him just before that last pitch. He's got that regular mask back on. Evidently there was some problems with what might be a brand new one. Runner at third with one out. Nationals play the infield back here early in the game. They'll give up a run to get it out as Bobby Abreu takes the pitch, this time in for a strike at the count 1-1. Abreu had a monster year last year at 301, career high 30 homers, 105 RBIs, 47 doubles, and 40 steals in 45 tries. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, the count 1-2.
Toss in 127 walks, and there's a guy whose on-base percentage is skyrocketing.
Unbelievable. It's a terrific year. He's gotten better every year of his career, and he's 31 years of age now. Also threw out 13 men from the outfield. Good for second in the league in assists. Hernandez from the stretch, breaking ball, swing and a miss, struck him out. So Livan Hernandez gets Abreu down swinging second out of the inning. And now Jim Thome will come up, and that's the reaction of the crowd for Thome. He played in 143 games last year in his second year with the Phillies. And his numbers, they were disappointed. He only hit 42 home runs, knocked in 105 with some nagging injuries. The year before, 2003, led the National League with 47 homers and drove in 131. They put on a shift. Guzman, the shortstop, just to the left of second, almost straight up the middle. Castillo over toward the shortstop hole as the third baseman. On the right side, Vidro's over towards the hole. He and Nick Johnson is playing deep at first, almost shake hands. Around the right, playing him to pull in the outfield. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball in for a strike, the slider from Livan Hernandez. It's 0-1. And it's opening day. Thome already has that batting helmet mudded down with pine tar. The equipment guys hate that stuff. They can't pack it with anything else. And even when they make a brand new helmet, they put pine tar on it, rub it in the dirt, and that's the way it looks from day one till the end of the year. Now the set of the pitch. He takes a fastball to the inside corner. Called strike two. Good low fastball at the knees. And Livan is one pitch away from getting out of a little jam here after the stolen base and throwing error. Put a runner at third. He has the sign from the first base side of the rubber sets. Looks at Rollins at third. Kicks and delivers. The breaking ball just missed low and inside. The big slow curve from Livan Hernandez.
Well, they got Abreu with a nasty changeup that Abreu was way out in front of and on top of, and he was hoping to get the knees to buckle on Thome with that breaking ball.
And Thome did not pull the trigger on it. Now the next one on the way. Fastball to the knee. Strike three called. Showed enough change of speed, though, to leave him looking and standing at home plate. So 2 strikeouts for Hernandez, no runs and 1 hit. There was a Nationals error, and the Phillies leave a man at third. End of 1. It's Washington 0, Philadelphia 0.
It's ironic. They're called answering machines, but they never give you answers. Oh, sure, they tell you so-and-so isn't here right now, but you have no idea where they went or when they'll be back. Of course, with Geico, you won't talk to an answering machine. They have thousands of car insurance specialists standing by, so you always get answers from a real live person. No wondering, no waiting, no irony.
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO.
When you choose a bank, you want the one that's right for you. You want the most convenient bank. Chevy Chase Bank. Take branches, for example. Chevy Chase Bank has the most in the region. Let's say you're a big ATM user. Chevy Chase Bank has the most ATMs, too. Over 850. You'll find them everywhere. Malls, airports, sports facilities, and of course, your neighborhood. Goodbye, ATM fees. Convenience comes in many forms. Change Express, our new coin counting machines, are free for everyone. Does Sunday fit your banking schedule? Chevy Chase Bank also has Sunday hours at branches inside giant food stores. Visit any Chevy Chase Bank branch. Call 301-987-BANK or 800-987-BANK. Or visit us online at ChevyChaseBank.com. Then cut to the chase. Chevy Chase Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Broadcasting live from the SAIC broadcast booth. This is the Z104 WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network.
There'll be something special for the fans every game during the Washington Nationals opening weekend celebration presented by Miller Lite. Fans attending the home opener Thursday night, April the 14th, will receive a commemorative medallion, compliments of PNC Bank. Saturday, April the 16th, fans will receive 2005 scheduled magnets, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. And Sunday, April 17th, all young fans will take home a poster of the Nationals' new mascot, to be determined. That's courtesy of Senbeo, Baltimore. For seats, go to nationals.com or call 202-397-SEAT. Top of the second inning. With a little bit of delay as John Lieber was not happy with the mound. The front slope and the grounds crew came out to do some work. Nick Johnson batting fifth, and the owner leads off, and they play him to pull, particularly the left side of the infield with the third baseman David Bell way off the line to the shortstop hole as Johnson takes a called strike. It is 0-1. The wind of the next pitch on the way, swung on in line where the third baseman would normally be. Down the left field line, a fair ball into foul ground, bounces off the stands right to Pat Burrell, and so Nick Johnson has to take a big turn and put the brakes on. Boy, Burrell kind of knew how it was going to carry him, and he was positioned perfectly for the carom off that screened fence of the stands down the left field line. There are a lot of angles to the stands so that they can get them close to the field, and you know what? You got to know how to play it a little bit here.
Any
field
ballpark.
advantage.
Yeah, any ballpark that has all kinds of different crannies and nooks and angles, you need to play there a while before you know how to play each and every carom.
The center fielder's got a task out there in left center with the wall juts in and then goes back out again as Vinny Castilla takes a called strike on the fastball. Goes from 369 in the power alley in left center out to 385, then comes in a little bit. Then angles back out to 409 in deep left center field. Here's the set by Lieber, the pitch, swing and a foul in the dirt at home plate. Don't know if that got a piece of the foot of Castilla or not on the count. There's now no balls and 2 strikes. It is not a traditional green batter's eye. The structure of the stadium on the outside is a brick color, and so is the batter's eye. I don't know if they're going to try and grow ivy on it or something, but not the normal view hitters would get. The pitch to Castilla, swung on and lined over shortstop. That's a base hit into left center field. Burrell bobbles it. Johnson goes for third. Castilla heading for second. The throw there, and he is out. Tagged out on the play by the second baseman, Polanco. So Burrell misplayed it in left. It got behind him. Johnson able to go to third, but Castilla is thrown out trying to go to second.
Well, that's a heads-up play on the part of Burrell. You know, the reaction would be try to throw to third and prevent Johnson from taking the extra base, but Burrell didn't hesitate. He just wheeled and fired into second, and Polanco was waiting for Castilla.
Well, give an error to the left fielder Burrell on the play. And the pitch now to Termel Sledge, the left-handed hitting left fielder, is high ball 1. So a single to left, an error allowing Johnson to go from second to third, but then Castilla's out 7-4 if you're scoring for the first out of the inning. And the pitch to Sledge, who checks on his swing, is a fastball in for a strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Breeze still blowing toward right, briskly across. The flags at half staff in the memory of Pope John Paul II. Lieber sets the pitch. Swing and a one-hopper deep at second with an infield back on the right side. They'll allow the run to score. Polanco with a throw to Tomey. Sledge is out as Nick Johnson scores the first run in Washington Nationals history. The Nats go up 1-0, and that run scored by Johnson is the Fox News first run of the game. Brought to you by Fox News Channel, your home base for news. And Brian Snyder bats now with 2 out and nobody on, and the Nationals leading 1-0. They survived their error. The Phillies did not. And the batter, Brian Snyder, a left-handed hitter, takes a fastball outside, ball 1. 1-0 Washington. As the hot dog wrappers start blowing around the infield. Pitches up and in. On Schneider, the count 2-0. Brian hit .288 for the spring with 15 hits, 4 doubles, no homers, 9 RBIs. .257 last year. 20 doubles, 3 triples, 12 homers, 49 RBIs, and his biggest year offensively and the most he played. Swinging a high fly ball, right center field. Back goes Abreu's on the warning track of the wall, leaping, and it's over his head off the wall in play. Backing up the center fielder Loft in the field to Karam. He'll get it in, but Schneider is at second base standing with a double. A long double to right center field. And I think both Lofton and Abreu were surprised carried that far.
Well, it's a strong breeze that's blowing from the left field foul pole across to the right field pole, and that breeze carried that ball nicely.
The ball does carry well here. You were here for a game last year, Dave. I know talking to the Phillies people and following the games last year, when they opened this park, balls were just flying out here, particularly to right center field.
It's a hitter's ballpark, no question.
Levon Hernandez can help himself. The right-handed swinging pitcher dribbles one foul up the third base line and fielded by Dave Huppert, the Nationals' third base coach. 18 years as a minor league manager. This is his major league debut as a coach. Don Buford, who has coached before with manager Frank Robinson in San Francisco and in Baltimore, on the lines at first. Levon takes the pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. He hit .247 last year, 20 for 81, 7 doubles, a homer, and 10 RBIs, is a career .236 hitter in 564 at-bats with 5 home runs and 55 RBIs. In a pinch, you could pinch hit with him. Here's the set of the 1-1, swing and a ground ball toward the middle. Rollins, the shortstop, to the left has it, and now he throws across to Tomey in plenty of time to get Levon Hernandez. Thought for a moment off the crack of the bat he might hit it hard enough to get through, but that was not the case. Nationals take the lead. 1 run in the inning. They had 3 hits, and they leave a man at second. We head to the last of the second in Philadelphia. It's the Nationals 1 and the Phillies nothing.
For $10, you could go to the movies.
Yeah, movies!
If you go by yourself,
Oh, well, that's just sad.
you could get a pizza.
I love pizza!
As long as it's a small and you don't get any toppings.
No pepperoni?
Or you could get 10 weeks of the Sunday Washington Post delivered to your home and pay just $10.
What's the catch?
No catch. Just call 1-800-999-POST and tell them you'd like to order 10 weeks of the Sunday Washington Post, home delivered for $10. That's it.
Wait, so I call 1-800-999-POST and they'll give me 10 weeks of the Sunday Washington Post and they'll bring it to my house?
Well, you have to pay the $10.
Yeah, Washington Post!
Yeah is right. Enjoy 10 issues for $10. Call 1-800-999-POST. That's 1-800-999-POST for 10 issues of the Sunday Washington Post, delivered to your home for just $10. It's a limited time offer and some restrictions may apply.
Hi, today we're using a technique known as guided imagery to show you how Turkey Hill iced tea is a cool thing indeed. Let's begin. You, your car, parking lot. It's so hot you could cook an egg on the hood. So now you're thirsty, pushing a cart in the store. After seeing a sign in your cart that says Turkey Hill iced tea, cold fashioned refreshment, you're off, gliding down the refrigerated aisle to the Turkey Hill iced tea. Bottled cold, shipped cold, and sold cold, so it tastes as fresh as when it was made. Turkey Hill iced tea, cold fashioned for refreshment. Turkey Hill Dairy, Conestoga, PA.
Z104, Washington's modern music and the official home of the Nationals.
Don't miss a moment of the Washington Nationals inaugural season. Full season and mini plans are on sale now for 41 and 20 game plans. Call 202-675-NEXT or visit nationals.com. Still time to make plans as well for the festive Welcome Home Washington Nationals luncheon. Players and manager Frank Robinson will all be there. Your chance to meet them and cheer the team on. On opening day, proceeds from the event benefit youth charities throughout the Washington metropolitan area. The number to call to purchase a table. We'll pass it along after this pitch by Levon Hernandez to Pat Burrell, the left fielder. A swing and a foul back behind home plate. Strike 1. That number, 202-789-7039. 202-789-7039. Nationals will come home the day before after a day game in Atlanta. And then have the luncheon on opening day. And then that night, 7:05, the return of baseball to the nation's capital in person at RFK Stadium. Fastball is low and outside, 1-1 to Burrell. His error making that run unearned in the top of the second for the Nationals. Actually, it would have been unearned. It actually goes an earned run, doesn't it? Because Brian Snyder double. That's right.
Snyder would have brought him home.
And the breaking ball, low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count on the Phillies left fielder Burrell. 257 last year, 24 homers, 84 RBIs. He had a miserable 2003, rebounded last year, but then had a bad finish. Also hurt a wrist and was not available much of the last month and a half. And he takes the pitch outside. It's 3-1.
A lot of the Phillies lineup was banged up last year. Jim Tomey missed some time.
Burrell 8 for 32 with 3 career home runs against Levon Hernandez. Fastball swung on, ripped one out for the third, knocked down by Castilla. Into the outfield grass to pick it up, but he has no play. And we'll wait and see how they score it. That ball was hit sharply. It has scored a base hit. Oh, too hot to handle for Vinny Castilla. Who kind of got caught in between. A 1-hop, short hop, trying to get it on the backhand. Uh-oh.
It's almost self-defense.
Yeah, now, Randy St. Clair, the Nationals pitching coach, coming out and talking with home plate umpire Gary Darling, the crew chief, wanting to know if Levon had injured himself or whether he wanted them to do something with the mound.
Well, when he came off after the first inning, Charlie, before he got to the dugout, he motioned to Darling. They talked. He pointed to the mound, and immediately Darling went over and talked to the grounds crew seated next to the Nationals dugout, which is why they came out and worked on the mound before Lieber worked. So I'm sure Levon is still uncomfortable out there with the landing spot for his left foot.
Well, not so much what Lieber wanted. They were working on it for Levon.
Exactly.
Castilla shortens up now as Kenny Lofton. Strange to see him in the number 6 spot of the order. And the pitch taken outside ball one. They used to call that what? The 6 spot, the second leadoff position, right? Well, they have Rollins and Lofton, who at 37 played for Charlie Manuel, managed for most of 3 seasons. Lofton was playing in Cleveland. Swinging a grounder foul outside of first, no play, a ball and a strike. Now, Lofton last year played for the Yankees. That was one of those signings by the front office that maybe didn't work out so well for Joe Torre. Didn't work out that well for Kenny Lofton because Bernie Williams did most of the playing in center field, and Lofton didn't get to do his thing. So at 37 now, he's the starter for the Phillies, who would hope that Marlon Byrd would have that job for years to come. Hasn't worked out for him. He's back in the minor leagues. Now the pitch, swing and a foul, and the dirt off the glove of the catcher Schneider at home plate, 1-2. Lofton played in only 83 games for the Yankees at 275. 10 doubles, 7 triples, 3 homers, 18 RBIs, only 7 steals. 2 years ago for the Pirates and Phillies, playing almost every day, 140 games, he stole 30 bases. He thinks he can still do that again. The Phillies would have a pretty quick team with Rollins at the top and Lofton in the 6 hole. Here's the set of the pitch, swing and a pop-up foul. Schneider coming back with the mask off, sunglasses on, but this is backing out of play. Just to the home plate side of the Nationals dugout that's on the third base side here at Citizens Bank Park. Continues the ball and 2 strikes on Kenny Lofton with David Bell on deck.
Oh, with the later start today from a normal afternoon starting time, the shadows already beginning to creep across the field, starting to inch their way out into the infield grass along the third baseline.
Johnson holds the runner. Hernandez sets to the pitch. Fastball low and outside. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kenny Lofton. The outfield Guillen straight away and right. Wilkerson doing some stretching, a few steps to left center, and slides a little bit towards the line in left. The delivery to left-hand swinging Lofton is inside, about knee-high, moved him off the plate, and now the count is full, 3-2. We'll see what Charlie Manuel does as Bill Dancy, his new third base coach, flashes signs from just north of that coach's box. He's just beyond the box. Mark Bombard is managing their minor league system as the new coach at first base. Throw to first and back standing is Pat Burrell. He stole 2 bases in 2 tries last year. Not the guy you figure to run, but 3-2, you might start him to try and stay out of a double play, and that's where the Nats infield looks now. He is going. The pitch is inside and ball 4. Schneider came up to throw, but held on to the baseball. No need to throw on ball 4. The only thing you can accomplish there is negative. Like you could throw the ball away and have that runner move from second past third. And Schneider's already bounced one. He wouldn't want to do that again. So a single to start the inning off the glove of Castilla by Burrell, and a walk to Lofton brings up David Bell with 2 men on base and nobody out. Bell at 291 last year, 18 homers, 77 RBIs, just 214 for the spring on 6 for 28. He was banged up a bit in the spring. He takes the pitch at the knees. That's a called strike.
And some back problems, and really it kept him out of most of spring training. What at bats he got were pretty much crammed into the last week to 10 days.
Same for Lofton. Lofton only had 15 at-bats battling a hamstring. And veteran players, you hope they get enough at-bats to be fresh, but you just don't take any chances with them with the injuries in the spring. Bell swings at a fastball and takes it on the ground through the hole into right field. In on it quickly, rounding third as Burrell held up as the throw is cut off by Nick Johnson about 25 feet from home plate to the right of the mound. So Guillen charged it, even though the ball was hit rather sharply. The grass ate it up, and a single to right loads the bases for the Phillies with nobody out. They hit 280 last year as a team with the bases loaded, 265 with men in scoring position, and they don't figure offense and scoring runs is going to be a problem for them. For them to be successful, it's going to be about what they think is their starting pitching with John Lieber at the top today, and hoping that Randy Wolf, who's been off and on, is back on the beam this year. Corey Lytle, Brett Myers, and rookie Gavin Floyd are the others in their 5-man rotation. Now the batter, Mike Lieberthal, with a slow ground ball to first. Nick Johnson has it. They'll go to the bag unassisted. The Nats with the infield back, allowing the run to score. And this game is tied. The Nationals won and the Phillies won. RBI ground out for Mike Lieberthal, who drove in 61 runs last year. Not quite the offensive player he used to be. Over to third base goes Lofton. To second goes Bell. And now with 1 out, the Nationals bring the infield in. Most managers will play it that way on the road with men in scoring position. Early in a game, ahead or tied, or maybe even behind a run. With no out, infield back with 1 out, you bring him up.
Yeah, Nick thought about coming home, trying to get the force, took a quick look, and I think made the right decision. I don't think he really had a chance to try to force Burrell at the plate.
So 1 out, runner second and third, and the pitcher, John Lieber, is the hitter. Left-handed hitter, and he takes the pitch, low ball 1. Lieber, of course, in the American League last year. He's a 155 career hitter, never hit a home run. 15 doubles, 20 RBIs. Infield in. Hernandez delivers. Swing and a miss. Actually, a tip into the glove of Schneider. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Still some empty seats in the upper deck, but time goes on. Almost every seat seeming to be filled. Hernandez delivers a changeup, pulled on the ground, foul outside at first, no play, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reminder, this game is brought to you by IHOP. Now at IHOP, wrap yourself around something really delicious. Roll in for our new stuffed crepes. Come hungry, leave happy. IHOP, proud sponsor of Washington Nationals baseball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Tied at 1 here with 1 out. Runners second and third for the Phillies in the home half of the second inning. The set by Hernandez, and the pitch, fastball, runs outside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He was hoping to get Lieber to kind of go after that one up and out of the zone, but Lieber figures, well, it's not close enough, but I think I can get the bat on it. Why not take it?
Pitch on the way, swung on, hit in the air to right field, hit well. Ian going back, still back to the edge of the track, on the track, reaches up, fighting the sun, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Lofton. He'll come in to score. And over to third goes David Bell on a long sacrifice fly to the warning track off the bat of the pitcher for the Phillies, John Lieber. His first RBI of the year, and the Phillies have taken the lead. For the first time today, it's the Phillies 2 and the Nationals 1. Top of the order, and Jimmy Rollins, the switch hitting shortstop, comes up. That's not an easy play, as Deanne was feeling for the fence, looking up into the sun, and the wind is making everything adventurous. Brian Schneider flashes signs. Hernandez will work from the stretch with Castilla short in the third. Rollins tries to bunt and pops it up foul behind home plate. This goes out of play. No balls and 1 strike. National League scoreboard. Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh 9-2 last of the 6th inning. Ben Sheets, who was 12 and 14, got the start for the Brewers this afternoon and still in there. Oliver Perez, 12 and 10 for the Pirates last year. A lefty everybody would love to have. Gave up 6 runs and 5 hits over 5 innings. Rick White pitching in relief. And the pitch is taken, a called strike. It is 0-2. John Lieber's first RBI in almost 4 years. Of course, he used to swing the bat when he pitched for the Cubs. 20-game winner a few years back. Swing, a little looper, left field. Sledge coming on, he's there, and he makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the Phillies take the lead. There were 2 runs on 2 hits. A walk, a sac fly, and 1 man left aboard. The end of 2. It's the Phillies 2 and the Nationals 1.
Diana Hollander here from Classical 103.5, welcoming the national pastime back to Washington. And I'd also like to invite you to spend your workday with me every day from 10 to 3 at Classical 103.5 WGMS. We're Washington's only classical radio station and a perfect way to take the edge off your workday. Join us at work and all day. Classical 103.5. Science Applications International Corporation, SAIC, is the nation's largest employee-owned research and engineering company. The ability and commitment of its employee owners to turn science into solutions has made SAIC grow from a few scientists to more than 40,000 employees. People who believe in helping their customers reach their goals. People who are ready to tackle their customers' toughest problems. SAIC, dedicated to turning science into solutions. SAIC, dedicated to your success.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
The Nats play here on Z104 and WFED.
We go to the third inning. Phillies lead it 2-1. A pleasure to say, here's Dave Shane.
All right, Charlie, thank you. And Brad Wilkerson bounces the first pitch from John Lieber down to Jim Thome at first. He handles it on 2 hops and makes the play himself for the first out of the inning. Wilkerson now 1 for 2. He had the first base hit in Washington Nationals history, a bloop single to right his first time up. That brings up Christian Guzman, who bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. Guzman has hit Lieber very well throughout his career. First pitch from Lieber, a fastball taken for a strike. Guzman came into the game 6 for 13 lifetime with a pair of doubles. That equated to a .462 average. Lieber quickly back to work, breaking ball over the outer part of the plate. And quickly, Guzman finds himself behind on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Christian hitting from the left side against the righty Lieber. The pitch fouled off. Count holding at 0-2. They experimented with Christian in the latter stages of training camp as a leadoff hitter, but neither the team nor Christian felt very comfortable with that, so Guzman back in his normal number 2 spot in the batting order. Lieber rocks and kicks. The righty's pitch slapped down the left field line, slicing foul into the seats. Pat Burrell was on his horse, but no chance to get to it, and the count still no balls and 2 strikes. Wilkerson, Guzman, and Vidro, the top third of the Nats batting order here in the top of the 3rd inning. The 0-2 pitch hit on the ground. A skipper that is handled by Rollins deep in the hole. He fires in time to get Guzman, and there are 2 down. That'll bring up Jose Vidro, who fouled out to Burrell. Not much foul territory once you get by the corner of the stands. It juts out about midway down the left field line, but Burrell went over up against the stands and made the catch in foul territory on Jose his first time up. Lieber nibbles at the outside corner for strike 1 against Jose. Vidro, a .476 lifetime hitter against Lieber. He slaps one foul in the seats along the third base line, and quickly Lieber is up 0-2. Lieber working quickly and getting ahead of the count quickly on the Nationals. Lieber stares in at Mike Lieberthal. Here's the pitch, chopped slowly toward short, charged by Rollins, throws on the run in time to get Vidro. An easy 1-2-3 inning for John Lieber in the top of the 3rd. After 2.5, Phillies 2, Nationals 1.
Arugula. It's as fun to say as it is to use in salad. And you start by taking it along with your green leaf lettuce and tearing it into uniform bite-sized pieces. Then you add grape tomatoes on top, which are rich and flavorful and once again perfectly bite-sized. Next, you'll want either grilled chicken strips or crispy chicken strips. I think my favorite way to prepare it is like this.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Give me the bacon ranch crispy chicken salad and a Diet Coke. I'm loving it.
Z104, Washington's modern music. We've got you plugged in with free iPod shuffles just for listening to Z104. Now, here's how it works.
Download some focus.
Go to Z104radio.com, and if you're not already a My Z104 member, sign up now. Then listen every Thursday between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Check it out.
If we call your name, call us back within 1 hour, and we'll instantly upgrade you with a new iPod shuffle on Z104.
That's my station.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
Washington's only official home of the Nationals, Z104 and WFED.
You're invited to the Nationals block party during the Nationals opening weekend celebration presented by Miller Lite. Whether your pregame warm-up includes speed pitch, a couple of swings in the cages, or getting your face painted, the block party is a great place to play before heading to the game. The party begins on the Stadium Armory Mall 3 hours before the first pitch on April 14th, 16th, and 17th. Bottom of the 3rd, Placido Polanco, Bobby Abreu, and Jim Thome, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Phillies. And Polanco takes a look at a pitch at the knees on the outside corner for strike 1. Polanco flew out to Brad Wilkerson in center his first time up. Hernandez kicks and fires and blows a fastball by Polanco, and he's ahead of the count, 0-2. Placido getting the start at second for the Phillies today. Polanco, a .357 lifetime hitter against Livan Hernandez. The 0-2 pitch grounded softly toward short. Guzman charges, throws on the run in time to get Polanco. There is 1 down. That ball just out of the reach of Castilla. It was Guzman's ball all the way. Got to pick it off his shoe tops as he charged it and threw off balance on the run to get Polanco by a good step and a half. That brings up Bobby Abreu, who was way out in front of a changeup and struck out his first time up. Abreu hitting from the left side, looks at a pitch down and in for ball number 1. Abreu wears the number 53. A lifetime .295 hitter against Livan. Breaking ball is over on the inside third, taken for a called strike, 1-1. Hernandez 3-1 lifetime with opening day assignments. The righty rocks and kicks, fires a fastball up and in on Abreu, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Last year, Levon was on the mound in Florida against the Marlins and lost a duel with Josh Beckett. Here's Hernandez's pitch. Broken bat, soft liner into left, out of the reach of Christian Guzman, and Bobby Abreu is aboard with a 1-out single. That sounded rather odd as that bat broke. The barrel went out past the mound. Sounded like an old woodblock. When they used to call the games on radio, Western Union would telegraph the results, and the fellow in the booth recreating the action would use a woodblock to simulate the sound of ball hitting bat. So that brings up Jim Thome, who's got caught looking at a third strike. He lifts a high fly ball to mid-range left field. Sledge camping has the catch, and there were 2 down. Thome going after the first pitch and lifting it high into the air. Sledge only had to move a couple of feet toward the infield to be in position to make the catch. So there's 2 down. Abreu, the runner at first, and he is a definite threat to go. And Pat Burrell is the hitter. Burrow led off the second with a base hit and later scored the Phillies' first run of the game. 2-1 Phils. The Nationals getting their run in the top of the second, and the Phillies coming right back with 2 in the home half. Hernandez throws over, and Abreu is back standing. Abreu stealing 40 bases a year ago as a helping lead at first, held down by Nick Johnson. Burrow, right-handed hitting outfielder. Takes a look at a pitch down low, blocked nicely by Brian Schneider. He was able to box it around and control it. No chance for Abreu to advance. Well, the Mets have rebounded from an Adam Dunn 3-run homer for the Cincinnati Reds in the first, and now after 6, the Mets and Reds are tied up at 3 apiece in Cincinnati. Pitch to Burrell, a fastball on the outside corner, called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Burrell, a couple of seasons ago, had a career year. Put up huge numbers, not necessarily batting average, but power numbers, RBIs. Then fell off the last couple of years. He swings and misses at a big changeup. And Levon Hernandez gets ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Burrell. Home plate umpire Gary Darling takes a look at the ball, tosses it on, and puts a new one in play. The outfield shifted on Burrell toward left field. DN way over toward right center. Wilkerson shading left center. Sledge straight away and left. Throw over to first, and Abreu is back standing. Levon at the belt, checks on Abreu and comes to the plate. Fly ball, right field, DN on his horse to his left. Reaches up, he can't get to it. It's off the track and off the wall. Around third comes Abreu. He will score easily. And into second with a 2-out RBI double is Pat Burrell. It's 3-1 Phillies. Well, Guillen was way over in right center field to play Burrell, and Burrell got all of it. Lining it to right, it was a slicing line drive to make matters worse for Jose Guillen. He got after it pretty good. He just couldn't catch up with it.
And that ball was slicing away, and he did as best he could to get a good carom, good play on the carom, and get it back in.
And with Abreu's speed, no chance on getting Bobby Abreu at the plate. Kenny Lofton check swing on the first pitch, and he grounded it just foul at third base. It rolls all the way down to where the stands jut out toward the outfield.
You know, you position your defense where you hope a guy's going to hit it based on the pass and how you're pitching him. But when the pitch is away and he slices the other way, it goes against your defense, and not a lot you can do.
The 0-1 pitch to Lofton, a fastball up top and out of the strike zone. It is 1-1. Lofton walked his first time up and scored the second Phillies run of the ball game. Burrell with the lead at second base. Hernandez taking a look back. Lofton asks for time and steps out. The breeze is blowing briskly out to right.
Say that 10 times.
I did well to say it once.
I know, because I've tried that one a few times.
I took a real chance.
You never know about that in this business. You think about saying something, and you know what? I'm going down a bad road. Why am I doing it?
Here's the pitch to Lofton, a slider inside. Ball 2-1. On deck is David Bell. Burrell with the lead at second. Hernandez from the belt to the plate. Ground ball right back to Hernandez. He throws to first to retire Lofton and the Phillies in the third. But Philadelphia comes up with a run on 2 hits. They leave a man. We've played 3 at Citizens Bank Park. It's 3-1 Phillies.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
Sarah McLachlan, Maroon 5, Peter Gabriel, No Doubt. Real musicians making real music. Modern music. It's just what you want from a music station. Listen to Washington's modern music on Z104. In Upper Montgomery and Frederick County, listen on 103.9 FM. And everywhere else in D.C. at 104.1 FM. And listen online at Z104radio.com. Write it down.
Hi, it's Z104's Jenny for Alays. With baseball season here, that means summer is just around the corner. Are you ready for the shorts and tank tops? Well, I am because I've been Alays. Alays is the most recommended laser hair removal provider in D.C., having performed over 70,000 treatments.
Join Alays for the countdown to summer the week of April 11th and save up to 40% off Alays laser hair removal packages and 30% off skin aesthetic packages. Call 1-877-55-ALASE. That's 1-877-552-5273 or visit getalays.com.
Broadcasting live from the SAIC broadcast booth. This is the Z104 WFED, Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Jose Guillen will lead things off for the Nationals here in the 4th inning, the middle third of the Nats batting order against right-hander John Lieber, who fires a fastball over the inside part of the plate, taken by Guillen for a strike. Jose went down swinging to end the first. Slider is inside. Ball and a strike. Guillen, a .222 lifetime hitter with 1 home run against Lieber. He gets on top of one and chops it foul down the third base line. Count of ball and 2 strikes. Jose had a pretty fair spring. But you could tell in the last week of training camp, he just couldn't wait for the regular season to begin. The outfield shaded toward the left on Guillen. A fastball at the belt. Misses inside. It's 2-2. Guillen will be followed by Nick Johnson and Vinny Castilla. Nationals drew first blood with a run on the top of the second, but trail by 2 now. Fastball fouled back off the mid of Michael Lieberthal, and the count holds. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Couldn't ask for a better day in Philadelphia. Not a cloud in the sky. Temperatures in the 50s. Bright sunshine. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground to Rollins at short, a little to his left, up with it and on to first, and Guillen is retired. Short to first. Let's take 15 seconds for station identification on the Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Z104, 104.1 WWZZ Waldorf, Washington, 103.9 WWBZ Braddock Heights, Frederick, and WFED Silver Spring, Washington, Federal News Radio AM 1050.
Nick Johnson looks at a fastball up high for ball 1. Nick singled his first time up and goes into the trivia books as the first guy to score a run in Washington Nationals history. Looks at another pitch up and outside. It's 2-0. You know, Nick led off the second inning with the base hit. He finished the last 3 games of the spring as the leadoff hitter for Frank Robinson in the last 3 exhibition games, and didn't do a bad job. Always said he didn't really consider himself a leadoff guy, but heck, you could lead off any inning, and he's right. Fastball taken at the belt for a strike, 2-1. So in essence, Nick showing that he could handle that leadoff duty by signaling sharply his first time up. 2-1 pitch, line foul into the seats along the left field line, and that'll even the count off at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick's big goal was to get out of training camp healthy, and he accomplished that. He also worked on his swing. Tom McCrow, the hitting coach, kind of retooling it. Not as much a wide open stance as Nick had been accustomed to. 2-2 pitch, a fastball up and in. And the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lieber into his windup, the payoff pitch, hit in the middle. Polanco dives and can't come up with it. It's into center field. Johnson rounds first and holds with his second single of the ball game. Nick is now 2 for 2. And the Nats have a base runner with 1 out. Vinny Castilla ready to step in. Castilla lined a single to left his first time up. It was mishandled ever so briefly by Pat Burrell. Johnson was able to go to third, but when Vinny tried to stretch it to second, Burrell gunned him down. Johnson with the lead. The pitch is swung on and lifted high into shallow left field. Rollins back, now drifting to his left and makes the catch. That wind almost brought it back onto the infield dirt. Rollins sprinted out to shallow left field, called for it, then had to adjust quickly as that wind that's blowing from left to right took the ball and brought it back toward the infield dirt. So there are two down as Castilla pops to the shortstop. And Termel Sledge is the hitter. Termel has the distinction of picking up the first RBI in Nationals history. His ground ball to second brought home Johnson with the Nationals' only run of the ball game. Sledge looks at a slider over for a strike. Lieber will throw the fastball, but he is definitely a sinker slider pitcher. Tries to keep moving that ball around, changing speeds. Johnson with the lead at first, held by Toby Johnson. Going pitch, swung on and lifted high to left field. The wind has it, though. It's going to blow it back into the infield dirt where David Bell will make the catch to retire the side. That ball looked like it was headed midway down the left field line and foul. It ended up being blown back into the infield for the final out of the inning. No runs are hit and a man left on after 3.5. Philadelphia 3, Washington 1.
How do you hit a home run in Washington? Listen to Federal News Radio, AM 1050, Washington's radio station for the federal community and one of the homes of Washington Nationals baseball. Start your day at 6 a.m. with Federal News Radio, AM 1050, and get all the information you need to know about management, technology, procurement, security, policy, and pay and benefits. And tune in for Washington Nationals day games as baseball returns to the nation's capital. It's out of the park. Federal News Radio, AM 1050, your source for federal news now.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
This is James Quartel from Classical 103.5 WGMS. We're fortunate to have baseball back in Washington, and we're also fortunate to have something else. Washington's only classical radio station, Classical 103.5. Join me every weekday morning, and I'll help you start your day the right way with 103 commercial-free. 103 minutes of commercial-free classical music to start your workday every morning at 9. So take the edge off at work and all day with Classical 103.5.
The Nats play here on Z104 and WFED.
Livan Hernandez set to work in the bottom of the fourth inning against the bottom third of the Phillies batting order. David Bell, Mike Lieberthal, and John Lieber set to face the Nationals' big right-hander. Bell singled his first time up. Looks at a slider down and away for ball one. Bell, 32-year-old third baseman, son of former Indians great third baseman Buddy Bell and grandson of former great ball player Gus Bell. Livan catches the outside corner for a called strike, 1-1.
Not a bad pedigree there, huh?
Well, you think that you might have a chance to make it to the majors with a granddad and father of that ilk. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball down and away. Missed the plate, ball two. Bell started his pro career in the Cleveland organization. Went to St. Louis, back to Cleveland. Had his most productive years with Seattle. Slider on the outside corner taken for a strike. It's 2-2. Had a career year in '99 with Seattle. 21 homers, 78 RBIs. Played 1 year in San Francisco in 2002 and joined the Phillies in 2003. Livan rocks and kicks 2-2 pitches, fouled back, and the count holds 2-2.
I remember seeing him that year in Seattle. That's the year also that Brett Boone, another guy with a pretty good baseball pedigree, they all went nuts hitting home runs that year. Everybody started asking questions, especially in that ballpark in Seattle, which is not a hitter's park.
Wonder if there was something in the water. Livan is ready. He rocks and kicks. 2-2 fastball, tails up and away. And the count goes full on the leadoff hitter in the fourth, David Bell.
A lot of red Washington Nationals caps in the stands today. You really got to look because the Phillies caps are red too.
Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball swung on in this, strike three. Hernandez took something off that curveball, and much like the strike that got Abreu earlier in the ball game, Bell way out in front of that breaking ball to strike out to start the fourth inning. Mike Lieberthal bounced to first his first time up, driving in a run. Fastball taken for a strike. 0-1.
We've seen quite a few people up from the D.C. area for this game.
Well, they were all lined up behind the Nationals dugout on the third baseline prior to batting practice. Slider at the knees is a called strike, and quickly Levon ahead 0-2 on Mike Lieberthal. Lieberthal, the veteran catcher for Philadelphia, pulls a pitch, a two-hopper to Castillo at third. Then his throw on to first is in time, and there were two down.
Got him with a 71-mile-an-hour curveball.
He's been mixing speeds and location nicely, although ran into a little trouble, especially in the second inning, as he gave up a single to Burrell, a walk to Lofton, a single to Bell to load the bases. A pitch to John Lieber is down low with a sinker, and it's ball one.
And of course, Lieber delivered that long sac fly to the warning track in right center.
That had to make Levon sick to his stomach to have that happen. Fastball is taken by Lieber, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Lieber hit that all the way out onto the warning track. GN doing a good job to track it down. 1-1 pitch is outside. A fastball missing, and it's 2-1. Levon working a little quicker this inning than in the previous 3. He throws a slider that is missed by Lieber, an off-balance swing by the Phillies pitcher, and the count is now even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Levon rocks and kicks. The 2-2 pitch misses upstairs, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Levon has gone deep in the count to a lot of Philadelphia hitters. He has his sign, the righty. Into his windup, the pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Levon strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 4th inning. After 4, Phillies 3, Nationals 1.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
Are you a federal worker? Do you do business with the federal government? Then you need Federal News Radio, AM 1050 WFED. Get your day started weekdays at 6 a.m. with Federal News Radio and get the latest on management, technology, procurement, security, policy, and pay and benefits on the radio at 1050 a.m. and online at federalnewsradio.com. Plus, the only place to hear and read Mike Causey every day. Federal News Radio, your source for federal news now.
Hey, it's JVZ 104's Nighttime DJ. Every weeknight at 7 o'clock, we bring you the top 5 most downloaded songs in the D.C. area. Songs like this.
I don't want to be lonely anymore. Silence, baby, to your darling.
So if you're curious as to what's being downloaded in D.C., check out Z104 weeknights at 7 o'clock for D.C. downloads. WFED, AM 1050, and Z104.
Yeah, watch when the play starts.
Well, we go to the 5th inning. The Nationals in need of some offense, trailing 3-1. John Lieber finished with his warm-up tosses. And Charlie Slows is finished with his chicken tenders and lunch and is ready to go back to work. All yours, Jazz.
All right, my friend. Got to squeeze that in there, eh? All the excitement before the game. Didn't have time.
Hey, look, you need your nourishment. You're a growing boy.
Hopefully not too much by the end of the year.
Hopefully up, not out, right?
Yeah. I think we're done with up, though. Been done a long time that way. Here's Brian Schneider, first pitch. Hit in the air to center field on a line. Kenny Lofton there, and he makes the catch. So John Lieber has allowed just 4 hits. Not a lot of balls put in play. Doesn't strike out a lot of batters. He has just 1 strikeout today. And Levon Hernandez stands in. Hernandez bounced to short his only time out. Nationals scored their run in the second with 3 hits, the help of an error by the Phillies. And Hernandez takes the fastball in there, a called strike. At 86 miles an hour. Levon's thrown 71 pitches through his 4 innings. Meanwhile, just 53 pitches now for Lieber, who misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lieber turned 35 years of age 2 days ago. Lives in Mobile, Alabama, born in Council Bluffs, Iowa. The right-hander fires, swing, and a ground ball hit the rubber, deflects towards short. Rollins picks it up and has no play with the third baseman Bell kneeling down in front of him. Either they hit the rubber or deflected off Lieber, I'm not quite sure. But it took a change of direction, was heading straight up the middle, and then deflected to the left. And it actually hit off the shoe of Lieber. That'll be a base hit for Levon Hernandez. The Nationals down by 2 have a runner aboard now for Brad Wilkerson, the leadoff batter. And center fielder today, after Ryan Church was scratched with a groin strain. He said he was ready to play. Frank Robinson did not want to chance it. Here's the set, and the pitch to Brad Wilkerson is a fastball for a strike. 88 miles an hour. Wilkerson, a bloop single to right center in the first, grounded to the first baseman in the third. 1 for 2 here on opening day for the Washington Nationals in Philadelphia. Lieber delivers, swing and a grounder, swift foul outside at first. That's the camera well at the far end of the long Phillies dugout here at Citizens Bank Park. Breeze continues to blow toward right field. On a blustery day. Now the set. And the pitch on the way. It's delivered low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, if you were there yesterday, RFK, for the block party and enjoyed it, there'll be another one coming up during Nationals opening weekend, presented by Miller Lite. There'll be block parties before each game, 3 hours before the first pitch. Thursday the 14th, Saturday the 16th, and Sunday the 17th. Time called a beach ball has blown out of the bleachers in left center field, and Kenny Lofton will have to go retrieve it. So whether your pregame warm-up includes speed pitch, a couple of swings in the cages, or our engineer Jack Hicks' favorite block party event, that's face painting. Be sure to be there 3 hours prior to the first pitch in the opening series against Arizona, the 14th, 16th, and 17th. The Nationals block party presented by Miller Lite. Now the set. The 1-2. Swing and a swift foul behind the plate. Jack likes face painting because, in his case, it takes the shine off his head. Now, he told me to say that. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and another broken bat foul left side behind the Nationals dugout and into the stands and out of play. The grab made down there. And so the count holds a ball and 2 strikes. Wilkerson working it. A piece of that bat from earlier was still out on the field. They hadn't retrieved all the pieces. We've seen a lot of broken bats here this afternoon. Now the set and the pitch to Wilkerson. And this one is taken low and in the dirt. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. One final scoring already today is the Detroit Tigers. The American League won their opener at Comerica Park, beating Kansas City 11-2. Jeremy Bonderman, 7 strong innings for the win. Jose Lima got banged around. Swing and a miss by Wilkerson. A running high fastball, and he strikes out. Just the second strikeout for Lieber, second out in the inning. And so Levon Hernandez, who didn't want the jacket on this cool day, still at first base. And Christian Guzman is the hitter. Lima got knocked around for 5 runs and 6 hits in 3 innings. Calvin Pickering had a solo home run. Dimitri Young had a 2-run homer. Pitch is delivered low to Guzman. 1 ball and no strikes. In fact, Dimitri Young homered twice in that game for the Tigers. He drove in 5 runs. He went 4 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 4 runs scored. Have yourself a day. The pitch swung on. It toward the middle slowly, charging up. The backhand and try and flip was Polanco, but the shortstop Rollins wasn't near the bag because he was going for the ball. Now, really, they had no play at first and trying to make something of it with Levon Hernandez running towards second. That'll be an infield hit on a swinging, chopping roller for Christian Guzman.
Well, Placido knew he had no chance to go to first, Charlie, so he figured, well, I'm going to at least try to get him at second. Unfortunately, Jimmy Rollins was backing up Polanco, and his momentum was carrying him out to right. There was nobody at second.
Yeah, the fans were booing, but really, they didn't have any play anywhere, in reality. Now it'll be Jose Pedro, the second baseman. The switch hitter is fouled out to the left fielder, bounced to short, and he is 0 for 2 this afternoon. That was a prayer to make that play. Here's the pitch on the way, and Pedro takes a fastball on the inside corner, a called strike. He moved off the plate. He didn't think that was a strike. A big chance here for the Nationals with runners first and second, 2 out, down 3-1. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Lieber to the belt. Rollins coming in behind the runner, and a swing and a liner sliced down the left field line, well foul and out of play. And so the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Brewers still up over the Pirates 9-2. Last report That one in the top of the ninth inning at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Ben Sheets went 7, gave up 2 runs for the Brewers. Travis Phelps in relief. Swing and a fly ball ripped down the right field line, fouled and out of play. Vidro around early. Still 0-2 with Levon Hernandez back to second and Christian Guzman back to first. Jeff Cirillo back playing for the Brewers at third base. Had a solo homer, his first. Oliver Perez gave up 6 runs in 5 innings for the Pirates. Pitch to Vidro as a breaking ball, a slider in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. New ball will be put into play by Gary Darling, the crew chief and home plate umpire. The Mets have a 6-4 lead over the Reds now with that game in the top of the 8th inning, as they have used the long ball today. The pitch on the way, swing and a line drive down the right field line, foul. The runners were moving. Hernandez will go back to second, and back to first goes Guzman, starting the runners on a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Frank Robinson, out of character there. He likes to mix it up. How about Pedro Martinez in 6 innings today? Struck out 12 for the Mets. Gave up 3 runs and 3 hits, walked 2, struck out 12. Manny Ibar's on in relief. Paul Wilson gave up 3 runs and 8 hits over 6. Former New York Met. The set and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball, shallow left. Burrell coming on, still coming, gets there, makes the one-handed catch, and the inning is over. The Nationals threaten in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, and they leave 2 men aboard. The Nationals have stranded 5 through their first 5 at-bats. The end of 4.5 to score. Philadelphia 3 and Washington 1.
Better than a 7th inning stretch. Try us out during your busy week and see just what classical music can do for your workday. Washington's only classical radio station, Classical 103.5.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
Z104, Washington's modern music. We've got you plugged in with free iPod shuffles just for listening to Z104. Now, here's how it works.
Download and program.
Go to Z104radio.com, and if you're not already a My Z104 member, sign up now. Then listen every Thursday between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Check it out.
If we call your name, call us back within 1 hour, and we'll instantly upgrade you with a new iPod shuffle on Z104.
That's my station.
Washington's only official home of the Nationals, Z104 and WFED.
Sundays will be family days at RFK Stadium. The fun begins Sunday, April the 17th with Kids Opening Day. Celebrate the birth of the Nationals mascot and a pregame birthday party. And after the game, kids will run the bases presented by Pepsi. All young fans will receive a poster of the Nationals mascot, compliments of Senveo Baltimore. To purchase tickets to Kids Opening Day, April the 17th, call 202-397-SEAT. 202-397-SEAT. Or go online to nationals.com. Levon Hernandez back to work. 71 pitches for Levon through his first 4 innings, more than he would like to throw during that time. And he's into the windup, working to the top of the order, and Jimmy Rollins, and the fastball is in there, a called strike. We won't be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a day off. Here's Levon into the wind, and the pitch is in there, a called strike, and it's 0-2 to Rollins, who singled, stole second, went to third on a throwing error by Brian Schneider, but then Levon Hernandez stranded him there. Rollins flied to left in the second. Here's the wind of the pitch by Hernandez, and it's well outside with a fastball, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. You see, they couldn't schedule a game tomorrow. Contractually, Dave and I can only work so many consecutive days in a row, and the way it worked out, here's the pitch, low and outside. You know, in our recent new employment, we couldn't work tomorrow. It was in the deal, so that meant everybody else, both teams, and everyone that works here in Philadelphia had to take tomorrow off also.
A little selfish on our part.
Swing and bounce a foul over toward the Phillies dugout, and the count is 2-2. Well, see, Jack Hicks couldn't do that, so he's gonna find work tomorrow.
He can't stop moving. He's got to be active.
Unless there's a plate of food, then he stops.
He does have priorities.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch swung on, hit on the ground, right side, and through into right field. Rollins a base hit. Guillen up to get it and play it back in. So 2 for 3 for Rollins. And the Phillies now have a total of 6 hits for the afternoon. That game now is a final from Pittsburgh. The Brewers over the Pirates by the score of 9-2. Now, we were telling it earlier about the Mets using the long ball, and boy, did they in that game with Cincinnati. They lead at 6-4 now with the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the set. Polanco bluffs a bunt, takes a pitch for a strike with Castilla charging from third. As Matsui homered in the first solo shot. Carlos Beltran in the third, a 2-run homer. Cliff Floyd in the 7th, a 2-run homer. Adam Dunn had a 3-run homer off Pedro Martinez in the first inning for the Reds, all with number 1 today. Mets lead at 6-4, last of the 8th inning. Now the pitch on the way inside with a fastball to the count 1-1.
You were talking about Pedro and his 12 strikeout performance in 6 innings. He really only made one mistake, Charlie.
That Dunn home run?
Yeah, Adam Dunn really took him deep to right with 3 runs in the first inning.
Now going to the bottom of the 8th in that one, 6-4 New York. Pedro threw 103 pitches. Swinging a line drive into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Rollins to second, makes the turn. Wilkerson fires it in behind him, and he hustles back into second base. Brad quickly into right center to get it. He can throw. Brad Wilkerson had 8 outfield assists last year. So the Phillies with runners on first and second, nobody out. Last of the 5th inning, the dangerous Bobby Abreu, the batter. He has struck out. He has singled to left field. They're figuring it'll be a much more relaxed Phillies team now with Charlie Manuel, who by definition, impression, however you want to call it, is just that good old country boy that you met somewhere on one of your travels. Easy going. The 180-degree opposite of Larry Boa, who was,
you think,
very high intensity, and they came close. They had some teams that they thought should have won. They didn't get there the past couple of years, and so Larry Boa was let go. Swinging a high fly ball off the bat of Abreu to the deepest part of the park in left center. Plenty of room for Wilkerson to make the catch. Rollins tagging, heading for third. No, they're going to be close, and he is saved. Castilla had to reach just to his left to haul it in and bring it back. Another 1.5 feet or so to the right, and that throw would have gotten him. But what it means on the play is Polanco's able to move up to second base into scoring position on the throw to third. So from that distance, I don't know how good of a chance Wilkerson has against the speed of a guy like Rollins, that you say, you know what? Let's keep the other guy in first.
Rollins. Let's keep the double play in play.
Keep the other guy out of scoring position. Jim Thome bats with runners second and third, and nobody, unless Wilkerson, while that ball was in the air, had this in mind, and what Frank Robinson's going to do right now. He's going to walk Jim Thome.
Why not?
He said, I'll throw to third, because if that opens up first base, Frank's going to walk Jim Thome. Now we're going to ask Brad Wilkerson, because he's the guy you can kid around with. When that ball was in the air and you had in mind to throw to third, you knew Frank was going to walk Jim Thome if you opened up first base for him, right?
Why not?
The intentional walk coming to Jim Thome, who has received a few of these before.
Of course, by putting Thome on, you've got no bargain in Pat Burrell.
And there he goes down to first, gets rid of the protective shin guard, the intentional walk completed. He was intentionally walked 26 times last year, which of course pales into the comparison of the numbers put up by Barry Bonds, how often he was intentionally walked. But 26 is a lot under normal circumstances. So the base is loaded for the Phillies. And the batter, Pat Burrell, who has an infield hit to third, sharply hit. And a double, that ball sliced down the right field line toward the corner that drove in the Phillies' third run. 2 for 2. Hernandez delivers a breaking ball in for a strike, and the count is 0-1. There is warm-up action in the Nationals bullpen, located above the Phillies bullpen, located above and beyond the right center field wall. And that is T.J. Tucker, the right-hander, warming for Washington. Well, Ron Hernandez pitch count starting to get up there. Here's the delivery. Big slow breaking ball missed outside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. On this cool day, cool for pitchers, really cool for everybody. Jacket weather here in Philadelphia, 63 degrees at last report. But with the wind, it feels that much colder. The set and the pitch. Fastball missed just inside. Avant falls behind. He's been around the plate. Takes the return throw and circles the rubber, going for a walk. Will walk down the back slope now and rub up the baseball and gather himself. That took some getting used to seeing the Nationals road uniforms with the gray and the navy blue being the focus color when we've seen all the red throughout spring training.
Of course, they used their red batting practice shirts as game shirts all spring.
Now the pop-up foul off to the right and out of play. And stuck with the red batting helmets. They have navy blue helmets for the road. Even the jackets. The navy blue becomes the focus color.
The classic look.
Yep. There's just more stuff for you guys out there to buy. You can have it all. The home look and the away look. Whatever you prefer. Or have it all. Actually, Tommy had more intentional walks than Bonds last year. Does that sound right?
Wow.
That can't be right.
That's hard to believe.
And inside, ball free, 3-2. That's a typo. Tommy had 26, but they have Bonds leading him, so that number must be wrong. We'll double check that. I thought Bonds had way more than 20 intentional walks last year. Crowd coming to life here in Philadelphia. With the bases loaded, they're waving little white towels or hankies. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, hit in the air to left center field. Wilkerson back, sledge back. Wilkerson is there, makes the catch. His throw towards second, tagging from third is Rollins. He comes down the line to score on a sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Pat Burrell, his second RBI of the game and the season. So 2 outs now, runners holding at first and second. It's now the Phillies 4 and the Nationals 1. And the batter will be Kenny Lofton, the center fielder wearing the familiar number 7 in the uniform that he wore most of his career with the Cleveland Indians. Now Hernandez delivers, swing, and Lofton drives one deep down the right field line. Trouble if it stays fair. This one is gone. Goodbye. It hooks around the pole, fair down the right field line. Kenny Lofton, jumping on the first pitch, has hit a 3-run home run for the Philadelphia Phillies. And that has broken the game open here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Phillies 7 and the Nationals 1. And here comes Frank Robinson out of the Nationals dugout with the hook. The signal he is going to the bullpen. And it's a disappointing opening day here for Livan Hernandez, who cannot make it through 5 innings. 4 2/3 innings and done. He is charged with all 7 runs scored by the Phillies here this afternoon, giving up a total of 8 base hits. So T.J. Tucker has been warming. He'll be coming on now from the Nationals bullpen beyond the right center field wall after the 3-run shot by Kenny Lofton. Time to take a pitching change break here from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia with a score of the Phillies 7, the Nationals 1 on the Z104 and WFED Nationals Radio Network.
How to make a classic Pennsylvania Dutch shoe fly pie.
You carefully shape your crust. Shoe fly. Pour your molasses mixture. Oh, shoot. Oh, my. Where's my swatter?
How to celebrate making a shoe fly pie? We suggest a scoop or 3 of Turkey Hill Premium Ice Cream. We use only the best ingredients and fresh country cream in over 50 flavors.
Just like that. Easy peasy. Pop it into the oven.
Turkey Hill Ice Cream. Where we make it is why it's good.
Hey, it's JV Z104's Nighttime DJ. Every weeknight at 7 o'clock, we bring you the top 5 most downloaded songs in the D.C. area. Songs like this.
I don't wanna be lonely anymore. Father's bigger to your daughter.
So if you're curious as to what's being downloaded in D.C., check out Z104 weeknights at 7 o'clock for D.C. downloads.
Ever wonder who coined the phrase, we eliminate the middleman? Well, one thing's pretty certain. It wasn't the middleman. And how did they eliminate him? Something fishy there. But I digress. Geico pioneered direct-to-consumer car insurance over 65 years ago, and they've been saving smart drivers money ever since. Give them a call, and you might ask them, what did they do with the middleman?
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
Right down the guy.
26-year-old right-hander T.J. Tucker, 6'3" and 266 pounds from Clearwater, Florida, is the new pitcher for the Washington Nationals. A homegrown organization product, taken as a sandwich round selection, 47th pick overall in the 1997 June free agent draft. Last year, 4-2 record, a 3.72 ERA in 54 games with 1 start. And he faces David Bell as his first batter. And the first pitch from Tucker is in there, called strike. Tucker works for the stretch all of the time, and the pitch is taken high with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Tucker's ready to work again. And the pitch on the way, ripped toward left field. Back goes Sledge, still back and over his head. This will go to the wall. Bell around first, heading for second. The throw, relay to Guzman on the Vidro, and he's out! And the inning is over. So Bell thought he was getting two. Another good play off to Karam. Good throw to the cutoff man, Guzman. They still had time to throw to Vidro to get him. It goes 7-6-4. So the inning finally over. The Phillies come up with a total of 4 runs on 4 base hits. A walk, it was intentional, and nobody left. After 5 innings, Phillies 7, Nats 1.
WTOP Sports Director Dave Johnson here. You want to know all about your Washington Nationals, right? So wake up with me, and Mike, and Richard. No, that's not a full bed. It's Washington's news, traffic, weather, and sports station, WTOP Radio. We're here from 5 to 10 every weekday morning with news and scores, and the Nationals play the game. Oh, and we'll still tell you about the Orioles, too. You'll find us at 1500 and 820 on your AM dial, or 107.7 on your FM dial. Keep up with the Nationals and the Orioles on WTOP Radio.
I work in IT for the federal government. My budgets are smaller, and my demands are growing.
I don't need order takers. I need problem solvers.
CDWG gives you top-brand technology and a dedicated account team ready to give advice and solve IT issues quickly. CDWG, the right technology, right away.
The Sony Vaio B100 series notebook is under 5.5 pounds and features Intel Centrino mobile technology and a 60 gigabit hard drive. Visit cdwg.com/ECS3.
How to make a classic Pennsylvania Dutch shoe fly pie.
You carefully shape your crust. Shoe fly. Pour your molasses mixture. Oh my! Where's my swatter?
How to celebrate making a shoe fly pie? We suggest a scoop or 3 of Turkey Hill Premium Ice Cream. We use only the best ingredients and fresh country cream in over 50 flavors.
Just like that. Easy peasy. Pop it into the oven.
Turkey Hill Ice Cream. Where we make it is why it's good.
This is the Z104 WFED, Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Jose Guillen leads off the top of the 6th inning against John Lieber. With the Nationals now trailing 7-1. Livan Hernandez knocked out with 2 out of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch on the way to Guillen, and there a called strike. He has struck out swinging and bounced to short 0 for 2 against Lieber. Will give up hits. Usually has the ball put in play, but doesn't give up a lot of runs. The Nats have 7 hits and only 1 run. Fastball way inside, a ball and a strike. The line on Livan Hernandez, 4 2/3 innings. 7 runs and 8 hits allowed. He struck out 4, walked 2, 1 intentional. Swing and a pop foul to our right and out of play. He gave up the home run there to Kenny Lofton. He threw 92 pitches, 57 for strikes. And it was a first pitch fastball, Dave, and Lofton got the barrel head out.
Right down the heart of the plate.
The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit in the air. Center field. Carrying Lofton back a little bit to the left of dead center. Makes the catch. Deepest part of the park here in Philadelphia. So 1 away in the top half of the 6th inning. Gather your group together and head out to RFK Stadium this year. Groups of 25 or more receive ticket discounts on selected dates and are guaranteed group seating. For more information, call the group sales department at 202-675-NATS. Here's Nick Johnson. Single to left and scored in the 2nd. Single to center in the 4th. Don't check that. The last man to hit it out of the infield for the Nats as he takes a pitch for a strike, 0-1. Lieber now tying his shoe in front of the pitching rubber. So Johnson, who swung it well late in the spring, at 302 overall for the spring, keeping it going here on opening day, takes inside, and the count 1-1 strike. Johnson, left-handed hitter, left-handed thrower, for his number 24 of the Nationals, Road Gray. And the pitch, a half swing, couldn't hold. That's a swinging strike in the count. Is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Lieber's got pretty good movement on that slider.
Now the pitch, swung on and popped up foul. This one back and out of play. So Nick Johnson keeps it going. And Kenny Lofton with a huge blow out of the number 6 spot, a 3-run homer to knock Livan Hernandez out of the game. 1-2 pitch on the way is delivered low, 2-2. After our much needed and awaited day off tomorrow, these same 2 teams resume on Wednesday night, 7:05 start. Pitch is taken high and the count full, 3-2. We'll be on the air at 6:40 with our pregame coverage. Zach Day will make the start for the Nationals, a right-hander. Brett Myers, an 11-game winner. First full year as a starter last year for the Phillies. And a squib foul. I believe got a piece of the mask of Mike Lieberthal, the Phillies catcher.
I think it also got the left foot of Nick Johnson. Nick trying to walk it off.
Randy Wolf will start on Thursday for the Phillies, a left-hander, and Esteban Loaiza for the Nationals. That's an afternoon game at 1:05. Now the pitch swung on, grounded at third. Bell was way off the line, and he hit it right to him. Throw across in time for the out. That's what all those scouting reports and positioning reports say. Well, if you throw it away and he hits it to the left side, this is where I'm going to play, and he hit it right to him. That advanced scout gets kudos for that, right?
Absolutely.
That's his job.
It's amazing how they can position guys right on the money so often.
And then the rest of it's up to the pitcher to pitch according to the plan. Now Castilla stands in. Vinny takes the pitch well inside, ball one. You watch Lieber all afternoon. He has consistently moved the hitters off the plate early in the count. 1-0 pitch, runs it in again, and Castilla takes inside 2-0. And he played winter ball. Was in the Caribbean World Series. Now the pitch in there for a call strike, 2-1. Went back to play for his native Mexico. And he's actually working out down at Vieira. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball through the hole. A base hit to left field. Castilla aboard. The Nationals, one extra base hit, doubled by Schneider in the second. The rest of their 8 hits have all been singles. Well, that day we had the rain out the last weekend against the Dodgers.
Yep.
And we were in Space Coast Stadium, and I stayed behind to use the weight room workout facility. And they had one channel on TV that worked, and it was a rerun of the Caribbean World Series championship game. And I said, that looks like Vinny Castilla, and it was. Here's the pitch on the way to Termel Sledge, driven the air to right, and carrying Abreu back. It's over his head. It's over the wall, and gone. Goodbye. A line drive home run by Termel Sledgehammer Sledge. And the Nationals, with a little pop here at the top of the 6th inning, get 2 back. The ball is thrown back onto the field by fans in the right field stands. It's now the Phillies 7 and the Nationals 3 on a 2-run homer by Termel Sledge. He went after the first pitch from Lieber, and boy, did he groove that one over the heart of the plate. Barrel head out, and that one gone in a flash.
Yeah, that was more of a line drive than anything. Abreu took a couple steps back onto the track, but knew he had no chance.
Now the batter for the Nationals is Brian Schneider, the catcher. Left-handed swinger takes a strike. Chris Wheeler, longtime Phillies broadcaster, came in to visit before the game. He said, the ball flies here to right and right center. It has. As Schneider takes the pitch, a changeup upstairs. The next one on the way is high. The correction, the first pitch was called a ball.
I thought that was high. They did put a strike up on the scoreboard.
It is 3-0. To Schneider with T.J. Tucker on deck. Nationals with action in their bullpen now. In the event they have to pinch hit here, a strike on the outside corner. Only one left-handed hitter on the bench, and that's Ryan Church, who didn't start because of the strained groin. We don't know if he'd be available to pinch hit. Joe Horgan, the lefty, in the Nationals bullpen. Swing and a squib foul in the dirt at home plate.
Real
count now 3-2.
Real Cormier is up and throwing.
The Canadian left-hander, former Montreal Expo, Real Cormier.
Yep.
French-Canadian. 3-2 the count. Into the line of the pitch on the way. Inside low, ball 4, and Schneider able to draw the walk. 7-3 Phillies lead now. And action in that Phillies bullpen with Cormier getting ready. And the Nationals will send up a pinch hitter here. It'll be J.J. Davis. So they save Church, or either way, they've saved him or not using him. And so now Davis will come up as a pinch hitter. In the meantime, Charlie Manuel sends out his pitching coach, Rich Doobie, to talk it over with Lieber. So J.J. Davis, who made the team after coming in an off-season trade from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he had a great spring for the Nationals. Davis with a bat at .317, 13 for 41, 4 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, and 6 RBIs. And the category that matters right now, the fact that he went 4 for 7 as a pinch hitter during the spring. And we talked about that. He said, hey, it might be spring training, but pinch hitting hard anytime you have to do it. And so Davis, who had limited action with the Pittsburgh Pirates over the past couple of years, injuries curtailed his season last year, was in 25 games, in 143, 5 for 35. 2003, AAA Nashville at 26 homers, knocked in 87, so he can hit it far. And takes the fastball from Lieber inside for a ball.
What I think JJ's going to have to look for here, Charlie, is Lieber's going to try to get it down and get it away, and JJ cannot try to pull that.
Here's the set, and the pitch, swinging a foul off the catcher's shin guard and back behind the plate, a ball and a strike. 25 pitches in the inning for John Lieber, which puts him at 94 pitches for the afternoon. So he's near the end of his day. Swing and a miss by Davis and a fastball. And now Lieber is ahead of Davis, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brad Wilkerson on deck with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs home. The pitch low and outside with a breaking ball. And the count even 2-2 as he went back to the slider. He doesn't throw a curveball. He throws a slider with a fastball in the low 90s and a changeup. Now the pitch on the way. Swinging a ground ball dribbled up the third base line. A foul ball.
Well, Lieber had that one down and away, and J.J. tried to pull it. Anytime that happens, you're going to get a fairly weak ground ball to the left side of the infield.
Big doings in Cincinnati. The Mets leading 6-4 going to the bottom of the 9th. Do not win the game. Breaking ball low and outside. 3-2. Braden Looper walks. Let's see. I gave up 3 hits in the inning. The last one being a Joe Randa home run. Now the pitch. Swing and a fly ball, shallow right, could be trouble. It will fall for a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Schneider in standing on a pinch hit, looping single to right for J.J. Davis.
Good piece of hitting by Davis. That ball again was down and away. He went with it that time. Just got the end of the bat on the ball, and it was just enough to get it up over Polanco and have it drop in front of Abreu.
And Charlie Manuel coming out. That's going to be it for Lieber. He hands the ball to Charlie Manuel, the left-hander in the bullpen. In Real Cormier, he's coming on to face Brad Wilkerson with runners first and third and 2 out in the top of the 6th inning. Already 2 runs in on the 2-run homer by Termel Sledge. Time for another pitching change break here with the Phillies leading the Nationals 7-3. Back in a moment on the Z104 and WFED Nationals Radio Network.
How to make a classic Pennsylvania Dutch shoe fly pie.
You carefully shape your crust. Shoot fly. Pour your molasses mixture. Oh, shoot. Oh, my. Where's my swatter?
How to celebrate making a shoe fly pie? We suggest a scoop or 3 of Turkey Hill Premium Ice Cream. We use only the best ingredients and fresh country cream in over 50 flavors.
Just like that. Easy peasy. Pop it into the oven.
Turkey Hill Ice Cream. Where we make it is why it's good.
Hey, it's JV Z104's Nighttime DJ. Every weeknight at 7 o'clock, we bring you the top 5 most downloaded songs in the D.C. area. Songs like this.
I don't wanna be lonely anymore. Father's bigger to your daughter.
So if you're curious as to what's being downloaded in D.C., check out Z104 weeknights at 7 o'clock for D.C. downloads.
Ever wonder who coined the phrase, we eliminate the middleman? Well, one thing's pretty certain. It wasn't the middleman. And how did they eliminate him? Something fishy there. But I digress. Geico pioneered direct-to-consumer car insurance over 65 years ago, and they've been saving smart drivers money ever since. Give them a call, and you might ask them, what did they do with the middleman?
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
Real Cormier, the new pitcher, getting ready for the Phillies. We'll tell you about him after we pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Z104, 104.1 WWZZ Waldorf, Washington, 103.9 WWBZ Braddock Heights, Frederick, and WFED Silver Spring, Washington, Federal News Radio AM 1050.
Real Cormier, 37 years of age, native of Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. Last year appeared in 84 games, a career high, a franchise record for a left-hander for the Phillies. He went 4-5 with a 3.56 ERA, and his first pitch is over a called strike to the Welk. Left-handed swinging Brad Wilkerson. As a single, a bloop single to right center of the first. He's grounded to first and struck out all against the starter. John Lieber facing a left-hander now for the first time.
They pretty much play Wilkerson straight away in the outfield, but Bell is way off the line at third.
Wilkerson had 9 home runs off left-handers last year, hit .278 against the lefties, and takes a called strike. It's 0-2. Cormier, fastball tops out in the upper 80s, mixes with a slider and a changeup. He uses those to set up hitters for the out pitch. It's a splitter, and on 0-2, I kind of bet the ranch that he's coming with that right now. What do you think?
I would say either that or he's going to waste a pitch outside.
He's setting up away at Lieberthal and throws the slider, it looked like, in the dirt. 1 hopper, 1-2. Got to Be confident that your catcher's going to block it off with a runner at third, that being Brian Snyder. And over at first base is J.J. Davis. So Wilkerson out of the box resetting. The Nationals with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning, down 7-3, trying to fight their way back into this thing. Cormier sets, and the pitch on the way. He takes a fastball inside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Wilkerson looked like he was looking for something away. I was a little surprised to see that up and in.
Cormier peers in as Lieberthal flashes signs. The breeze still gusting toward right field. Cormier kicks and delivers, swing and a miss. He struck him out, and he went with a pitch up in the zone and gets Wilkerson to end the inning. The Nationals lead 2 after scoring 2 runs with 3 hits in the inning, a walk, and they leave them in on the corners. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning with a score: the Phillies 7 and the Nationals 3.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I love college. Really. I never knew living on my own could be so, good for me.
Take your message.
Mom, Dad, just, listen home a little. Boy, I miss waking up to warm socks straight from the dryer. Warm socks?
Family. Isn't it about time?
Hi, it's Mark. Love you guys. Bye.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Sarah McLachlan, Maroon 5, Peter Gabriel, No Doubt. Real musicians making real music. Modern music. It's just what you want from a music station. Listen to Washington's modern music on Z104. In Upper Montgomery and Frederick County, listen on 103.9 FM. And everywhere else in D.C. at 104.1 FM. And listen online at Z104radio.com. Write it down.
The Nats play here on Z104 and WFED.
Today's game brought to you in part by IHOP. Now at IHOP, wrap yourself around something really delicious. Roll in for a new stuffed crepes. Come hungry, leave happy. IHOP. Joe Horgan is into the game for the Nationals. T.J. Tucker threw 3 pitches, gave up a base hit. But David Bell, trying to stretch into a double, was thrown out. So Tucker was rather efficient. He gave up a hit and got an out and threw 3 pitches and was done for the day.
He'll sleep well tonight.
So 3 pitches and 2 for strikes. That's a high percentage. Mike Lieberthal is leading off. Real Cormier is out on deck for the Phillies. We'll give you the line on John Lieber, the Phillies starter, here in just a second. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing, a little looper up the middle. That's a base hit. Lieberthal was jammed, but fought it off and singles up the middle. And so he is aboard. And we'll see if Cormier comes up, and he will.
He's serious about this.
He's a real good hitter for a pitcher.
He was rubbing down that bat with the tire rag briskly.
I'm telling you, this guy, see how quickly I can find this for you. He does not mess around with the bat. Morgan sets. They're expecting bunt. Johnson and Castilla charge. Bunted. Johnson into a slide. Knocks it down. Deflects to Castilla. Throws to first. Out. Oh, the Nationals fortunate. Johnson coming so hard, it was bunted on a line. He went into a slide and kicked it toward the third baseman, Castilla, charging from the other angle. He threw to Vidro at first for the out. Then heads up was Christian Guzman, started racing towards the unoccupied third base to make sure that the base runner Lieberthal didn't keep going around second.
You don't usually see this scoring notation. 3-5-4.
You know, Dave, I almost said kick, save, and a beauty. Just to make you kind of
feel home,
feel comfortable. Or at least on the deflection, you know.
I'm glad you didn't, though.
Yeah. It was a kick assist. Here's Jimmy Rollins turning around to bat right-handed, the switch hitter against Joe Horgan, and the pitch is low, ball 1. Rollins 2 for 3, pair of singles, 1 to left, 1 to right, a stolen base, a run scored. Rollins, who had his breakout year last year offensively, at 303 right-handed. He's a two-time All-Star already in his young career. Pitch is taken low. And in 2 balls and no strikes. Rollins had 43 doubles last year. 14 homers, 73 batted in. Morgan sets and delivers. And this one is low and a little away. So he's fallen behind 3-0. All is quiet at the moment in the Washington bullpen. Morgan had an ERA of 9.82 in 8 spring appearances, giving up 8 runs and 13 hits and 7 1/3, and gets one over on 3-0 with a fastball at 87 miles an hour. That's a strike. 3-1. Now the next one on the way. He was thinking ball 4, but the pitch is in there for strike 2. So it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Off second, Lieberthal playing Rollins to pull it, and the pitch is high and away, ball 4. The Nationals pitchers, who didn't walk many batters all spring long, now have issued their 3rd walk today. One of them intentional, and the batter now, Placido Polanco. Single to right center, a run scored in the 5th inning when the Phillies broke it open with 4 runs and knocked Livan Hernandez out of the game. And the pitch swung on, lined into right for a base hit. Guillen charges up to get it on a hop. Bill Dancy, the third base coach, holding up Lieberthal as Guillen fires in. Cut off and knocked down by Nick Johnson to the right of the pitcher's mound. And now the Phillies have loaded the bases here with the heart of the order coming and action beginning again in the Nationals bullpen beyond the right center field wall.
Antonio Osuna trying to get loose very quickly.
I don't know how easy that is to do on a day like this. And to help him accomplish that goal, time is called so that Randy St. Clair can go to the mound, the Nationals pitching coach, and stall for a little time here to allow Osuna to get ready, because Horgan, who didn't have a great spring, but showed enough that they decided they would have 2 lefties out of the bullpen. Not looking sharp right now. Horgan appeared in 47 games last year for the Expos and went 4-1, 2 saves and a 3.15 ERA, 40 innings, only 35 hits, struck out 30, walked 22. You'd like fewer walks than that, almost about 1 for every 2 innings is too much. Here's Bobby Abreu, 1 for 3, a single, and Horgan's pitch in there with a breaking ball, a called strike 1 to start him off. A slider from Joe Horgan at 81 miles an hour. Horgan with a fastball, curve, slider, and a cutter, and a changeup. So be ready. He'll throw anything. Next one is his fastball, and it's low and outside, trying to nibble with that outside corner.
What a career Abreu has had with the Phillies. He's hit 300 or better 6 out of 7 seasons. The 1 year he didn't, he hit 289 and had a career high of 31 homers and 110 RBIs.
Now the pitch swung on and hit in the air. Shallow left. Sledge coming up. Still coming. Now near the line. He makes the catch. Not far enough for Lieberthal to even tag. And so that is the second out of the inning as Abreu pops up to shallow left. A huge out at this point for Joe Horgan, because Jim Thome is coming up next.
Fans naturally letting Abreu know, what have you done for me lately? Thanks for all the great seasons, but you just didn't cash in. Sometimes Philadelphia fans can be heartless.
How about that 9th inning for the Reds? Adam Dunn's second homer of the game, a 2-run shot to right center with Austin Kearns aboard, and then Joe Randa right behind him, a walk-off game-winning home run. And that's how Braden Looper blew the save for the Mets, and the Reds beat New York 7-6. Pitch is taken low and inside to Thome, ball 1. He has struck out looking, popped to shallow left, then was intentionally walked, all against starter Livan Hernandez, the pitcher of record on the long end of this 7-3 score. Now the pitch. Swing, a line drive, fouled outside of first, and he shattered his bat. How do you break your bat and hit it that hard on? You know, I've been watching this for a long time, David. I don't remember as a youngster guys breaking their bats and, hitting balls off the fence or even over the fence.
I was reading a story about Jim Thome this morning, how when he was growing up, his driveway was covered with little white stones. And he would stand in the driveway with an aluminum bat hitting those stones all over the neighborhood. So maybe that's where he got the ability to hit it hard with a broken bat.
1-1 pitch, fastball low and inside, 2-1. What a career. 423 home runs for Thome. 4 40 home run seasons, 9 30 home run seasons, in a row and 8 consecutive 100 RBI seasons.
He was a nice get for the Phillies when they signed him as a free agent after a stellar career in Cleveland.
Charlie Manuel managed him there. Tony loved playing for him. Now the pitch, swing, and a dribbler up the first base line, foul. And Charlie Manuel was on board as a special assistant, kind of roved and scouted for the Phillies the past couple of years. You kind of had the feeling that if they were going to make a managing change and Tommy was going to go to bat for someone, he was going to make the call and say, hire Charlie, he'll be great for us. Bases loaded, 2-2 the count, 2 out. The pitch swung on, popped up, foul down the left field line. This will go out of play. Due up in the 7th inning for the Nats. It'll be Guzman, Vidro, and Guillen, 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. And they should be facing Real Cormier again. Milwaukee over Pittsburgh, 9-2, the other final in the National League. 5-run 5th inning for the Brewers today. They knocked out the starting pitcher, Oliver Perez. Now the pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. He went upstairs with a breaking ball, and Jim Thome swung underneath the off-speed pitch to strike out and end the inning. And Joe Horgan walks the tightrope and dances off it. No runs, 2 hits, a walk, 3 Phillies left aboard, and after 6, it's the Phillies 7 and the Nationals 3.
Now, when Amtrak Guest Rewards members pay 2 round trips for business on a Federal Express or Metro liner between select city pairs through May 31st, they get 1 round trip free. In other words, hey boss, I think I need to visit the client again. Plus, purchase any qualifying trip with any MasterCard card and you'll earn double points toward more free travel. Amtrak Guest Rewards members can sign up for this offer at www.amtrakguestrewards.com/AE105. Visit www.amtrak.com or call 1-800-USA Rail to book today. Sign up required to qualify. Visit the website or call for details and restrictions.
To leave a message, press 1.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I love college. Really. I never knew living on my own could be so, good for me.
Check your message.
Mom, Dad, just, listen home a little. Boy, I miss waking up to warm socks straight from the dryer. Warm socks?
Family, isn't it about time?
Hi, it's Mark. Love you guys. Bye.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Z104, Washington's modern music. We've got you plugged in with free iPod shuffles just for listening to Z104. Now, here's how it works.
Download and focus.
Go to Z104radio.com, and if you're not already a My Z104 member, sign up now. Then listen every Thursday between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Check it out.
If we call your name, call us back within 1 hour, and we'll instantly upgrade you with a new iPod shuffle on Z104.
That's my station.
Broadcasting live from the SAIC broadcast booth. This is the Z104 WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Getting set for the 7th inning here at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Phillies 7 runs, 11 hits, an error. The Nationals 3 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Christian Guzman will lead off against Real Cormier. And back in to tell you all about it with the play-by-play. Here's Dave Shea.
All right, Charlie, thank you. Christian, a switch hitter, flipping over to the right side against the lefty Cormier, who delivers a fastball over for a called strike. 0-1. Guzman today reached on a fielder's choice, bounced to short, and singled his last time up. 7-3, Phillies. Guzman takes a cut at a pitch that was down and in and yanked it over by the Nationals dugout. It's 0-2.
Phillies have warm-up action behind Cormier. With a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, Cormier will not face any left-handed hitters in the first 3 of this inning. Pitches down and in the dirt, blocked by Lieberthal. It's 1-2.
Hard-throwing youngster Ryan Manson, highly touted. Getting ready in the Phillies bullpen. You hear that glove popping.
Pretty good acoustics to be able to hear the bullpen catcher's mitt, which is in dead center field.
Oh, you saw Jack Hicks run all the way out there with the cable before the game.
Guzman swung on and fouled tip, held on to by Lieberthal for a strikeout in the first out of the inning.
Did you see Jack running the cable from the Phillies bullpen all the way through the stand?
I haven't seen Jack running the training camp again. I haven't seen that.
And he did run to the press dining room.
The manatee room must have had a special for lunch that day. Oh, here's Vidro, fouls off the first pitch from Cormier for strike 1.
I thought all the lunches in the manatee room were special.
That's one way of putting it. Vidro today has fouled out to the left fielder, Burrell. Grounded out to short and flied out to Burrell again. 0 for 3 for Vidro, who switches around to the right side against Cormier. Slider is on the outside corner, taken for a strike. 1-1. Actually 0-2. On deck, Jose Guillen. Nationals trying to keep the comeback going. Here's the 0-2 pitch, bounced in the dirt, blocked by Lieberthal. 1-2 to the Washington Nationals second baseman. Pedro in his career against Cormier, not a lot of luck. Hitting just .214, 3 for 14. Cormier rocks and kicks. Here's the pitch, a breaking ball down and in. 2-2. The outfield plays Jose straight away. Shadows have almost completely enveloped the infield grass and all of left field. 2-2 pitches on the way. Line through the hole into left field. Base hit for Jose Pedro. His first hit of the season as he rounds first and holds as Burrell's throw comes in. So the Nationals have a base runner with the one-out single by Pedro in the top of the seventh. That'll bring up right fielder Jose Guillen. Jose 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out swinging, grounded out to short, and flied out to center field. Tomei holding Pedro on at first. The left-hander Cormier comes to the belt and checks on the runner. Here's the pitch. A little bit low for ball one. Guillen 0 for 2 in his career against Cormier. That includes a walk. Cormier from the belt to the plate. Lined into left field, another base hit. Guillen with a single sharply into left. Burrell's throw will come in into Rollins, the cutoff man. And the Nats have runners at first and second with one out. And Lieberthal will trot out to the mound to have a word with Cormier, who wants a new baseball.
12 hits now for the Nationals. They've out-hit the Phillies 12-11. But a lot of hits, and that doesn't surprise me. Whenever John Lieber pitches, and I saw him pitch a lot last year with the Yankees, Dave, he might have a game where he pitches into the 6th, 7th, or 8th inning and give up just a run or two and give up 12, 13 hits.
Yeah.
And just keep dancing out of trouble. Now, naturally, he's out of this game, and the Nationals had some chances against him and left some men on base. They've left 7 on coming into this inning, so it's a great chance here with one out. Maybe the last real good chance to get back in this game.
Well, Nick Johnson, left-handed hitting first baseman, has 2 hits today. A pair of singles. He also grounded to third. Threat here for the Nationals as the breaking ball misses outside to Nick. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson has never faced Cormier, at least not in a regular season game. Big test here for the Nationals' first baseman. Pedro with the lead at second. Guillen not being held at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball missed outside, 2-0. On deck is Vinny Castilla, who has a pair of hits in 3 trips today.
You would think that Johnson will be the last batter Cormier faces with a hard thrower. Manson in the bullpen, a right-hander, and Castilla next.
You would think. Of course, after Vinny, you've got Termel Sledge and Brian Schneider, 2 left-handed hitters. So Charlie Manuel's got a decision to make depending on what happens here with Nick Johnson.
Well, Castilla's 4 for 13 with a home run against Cormier. And 1 for 3 against
Well, if it's up to you and me, they'll leave Rayo in.
Leave him in.
2-0 pitch on its way. Outside in the dirt, blocked by Lieberthal. Boy, did he box that around. A nice job by Mike Lieberthal to keep that ball from getting all the way through to the backstop. And it is 3-0.
Lieberthal has really come back. A lot of folks thought when he blew out his ACL a few years ago, and he did it leading off first base, was going to go on the pitch. Pitcher threw over there, and he had to reverse to go back to the bag. It was like someone sniped him from the stands, just went down, and his knee was gone. Made the comeback.
Runners with their lead. The 3-0 pitch from Cormier is over for a called strike. Fastball in there, 3-1. The wind continues to blow hard out to right field. And wouldn't Nick Johnson like to get one up into that jet stream? Cormier checks on the runners. At the belt to the plate. Fastball missed outside. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Well, the games we did during the spring, Dave, how many did we do where the Nats scored a lot of their runs late and came back and won? Maybe that's going to happen today, but the day is done for Real Cormier.
Charlie Manuel slowly making his way to the mound. We're going to have a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Our score, the Phillies 7, the Nationals 3. We'll return in just a moment on the Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Ever wonder who coined the phrase, "We eliminate the middleman"? Well, one thing's pretty certain. It wasn't the middleman. And how did they eliminate him? Something fishy there. But I digress. Geico pioneered direct-to-consumer car insurance over 65 years ago, and they've been saving smart drivers money ever since. Give them a call, and you might ask them, what did they do with the middleman?
Geico's customer satisfaction stands at 97%. How would you rate your car insurance company? Geico. 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
For Nighttime DJ every weeknight at 7 o'clock, we bring you the top 5 most downloaded songs in the D.C. area. Songs like this.
I don't wanna be lonely anymore. Father's bigger to your daughter.
So if you're curious as to what's being downloaded in D.C., check out Z104 weeknights at 7 o'clock for D.C. downloads.
How to make a classic Pennsylvania Dutch shoe fly pie.
You carefully shape your crust. Shoot fly. Pour your molasses mixture. Oh, shoot. Oh, my. Where's my swatter?
How to celebrate making a shoe fly pie? We suggest a scoop or 3 of Turkey Hill Premium Ice Cream. We use only the best ingredients and fresh country cream in over 50 flavors.
Just like that. Easy peasy. Pop it into the oven.
Turkey Hill Ice Cream. Where we make it is why it's good.
Ryan Matson, right-hander, on to throw now for the Phillies. 6'6", 194 pounds. There are some angles when he turns in his windup and he just flat out disappears. He is a blade out there. Last year he appeared in 52 ball games. His first full year with the Phillies, a 9-3 record at 2.34 ERA, and all but one of those 52 occurrences was out of the bullpen. First guy he'll face is Vinny Castilla with the bases loaded and just one out. Castilla, a pair of singles, a pop out to the shortstop, sandwiched in between. Matson, first pitch to Castilla is a breaking ball down in the dirt, blocked by Lieberthal, ball 1.
That's one of his feature pitches, a 12-6 roll off the table breaking ball, and he's supposed to have a swing and a miss changeup reminiscent of Trevor Hoffman, or remember Doug Jones?
I sure do. Matson pitching from the stretch with the bases loaded, throws a fastball up and in on Castilla, and it's 2-0. Vinny is a 272 lifetime hitter with the bases loaded, with 4 homers and 110 RBIs. Of course, last year he thrived on situations like this and succeeded enough to help run his RBI total on the year to a National League leading 131. Matson from the stretch to the plate, fastball over at the knees, 2-1.
Matson's fastball, 89-93. That one clocked at 87 here on the pitch speed indicator. He's a starter in the minor leagues. They had to make a decision whether to put him in the bullpen. Some think he might be a closer someday.
2 balls and a strike. Matson with the sign and the pitch. Took a little something off it and missed up and in, and it's 3-1. Castilla should get a good pitch to hit here. Pedro, the runner, down at third. Guillen at second. Johnson with the lead at first. Matson from the belt, the 3-1 pitch popped up out of play behind home plate, and the count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, this is what you hope could happen when you get down big early in the game, midway through a game down 7-1. They chipped away with a Sledge 2-run homer last inning, and near the golden chance with the bases loaded, one swing at the back could tie the game.
Turmel is on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch on the way, and it's slapped down the right field line, slicing foul into the seats. And so Vinny will reload, as will Ryan Matson. Vinny did not have the greatest of springs. Of course, he battled a knee injury for the last couple of weeks, but never really got it going offensively. It's encouraging to see Vinny with 2 hits today. They need a big one from him here. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Chopped foul at the plate, and Castilla just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Well, that's 6-6 and over the top. He has great downward action coming toward the plate as Ryan Matson. That 88-mile-an-hour fastball was diving hard. Vinny had a good swing at it. Just pounded it into the dirt.
The shadows have crept across the infield now so that the pitcher and the hitter are both in the shadows. Matson ready to go. Here's the 3-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4, and that brings Pedro in. Vinny will get an RBI as Matson walks Castilla with the bases loaded.
He threw a changeup on 3-2, and it was not close. Castilla able to lay off, so here's the sledgehammer. Trying to do it again. Got the chance to play because of Ryan Church and the tweak of the groin yesterday. A 2-run homer in his last at bat.
Turmel Sledge hitting from the left side. Bases still jammed. Guillen now down at third. Johnson at second. Castilla at first. And the first pitch from Matson way up high. And Castilla turns to home plate umpire Gary Darling and asks for time to go out and talk to his right-hander.
Meanwhile, the Phillies get action going in their bullpen, and warming up in a hurry is veteran left-hander Aaron Foltz, who was with the Giants the past couple of years, and the Phillies able to pick him up in the offseason. Experienced left-handed middle reliever.
The outfield playing Sledge pretty much straight away, although Abreu in right and Burrell in left are quite a ways off the lines, cheating toward right center and left center. A 1-0 pitch to Sledge. Missing outside, it's 2-0.
Should make, sorry, David.
I was going to say, this crowd's starting to get a little owie.
Now, this is Philadelphia. They can turn on you in a flash here. As happy as they are for their home team to be ahead, things go wrong quickly, they'll turn on you.
2 balls, no strikes. The pitch to Sledge. Up high, ball 3.
I have a correction. Fultz, the pitcher warming up, actually came off waivers with the Twins last year after being with the Giants for several years, and they're going to send out the pitching coach again, Rich Doobie, who's been with the organization, became the new pitching coach after coaching in the farm system as a roving instructor under Charlie Manuel now, and they're stalled for Fultz to get ready. So the relievers struggling, and the Nationals just another ball away from getting to within 2. This would be quite a comeback. Come all the way back down 7-1.
It'd be a fabulous comeback. John Lieber was just cruising along.
Well, we promised everybody entertainment today and value for their time.
Especially since we're taking tomorrow off.
Yes. Again, if you tune in late, Dave and I are not allowed to work after X amount of consecutive days. So because we couldn't work tomorrow, both the Nats and the Phillies are taking the day off.
3-0 pitch to Termel Sledge is a fastball over for a call strike, and the full house here at Citizens Bank Park gives Madsen a mock cheer. Jose Guillen with the lead at third, Nick Johnson at second, Vinny Castilla off at first. 3-1 pitch is on its way. Popped up foul out of play along the third baseline, and the count is now full.
You've got to come up with at least a run. You hope to get at least 2 more in this inning. Of course, you could be greedy and say, just bring them all around and tie this thing up right now. But to have a chance here, you've got to do something more with this inning than what they've done at this point.
Brian Schneider is on deck. Washington catcher has 2 hits today. Payoff pitch, hit on the ground, double play possibility. Placino to Rollins for 1, on to first, double play, and that kills the threat. So the Nationals do get a run, but they hit into the inning-ending double play and lead 2. At the end of 6.5, we're at the 7th inning stretch. Phillies 7, Nationals 4.
You have freed me from my newspaper box. The powerful Washington Post Classifieds will now grant you 3 wishes.
Okay, is this some sort of joke?
Yeah, just a little newspaper humor.
Oh, you're funny. For a newspaper, I mean.
Seriously, though, is there anything I can help you with?
Well, now that you mention it, I have been thinking about getting a new car.
And you want me to test drive something for you?
Actually, I could use a little help finding something in my price range.
Your wish is my command. Turn to the automotive section. About halfway down there. You see it?
That sporty convertible?
No. You said your price range, dear. Look at the one the lowest.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. It's even got a CD player.
You now have 2 wishes left.
Don't make me recycle you.
Check out the Washington Post Automotive Classified section for thousands of new and used car listings every day. The Washington Post Classifieds. Look no further.
Can't a newspaper have a little fun anymore?
Hey, it's JV Z104's Nighttime DJ. Every weeknight at 7 o'clock, we bring you the top 5 most downloaded songs in the D.C. area. Songs like this.
I don't wanna get on it anymore. Father's bigger to your daughter.
So if you're curious as to what's being downloaded in D.C., check out Z104 weeknights at 7 o'clock for D.C. downloads. The Nats play here on Z104 and WFED.
There'll be something special for fans every game during the Washington Nationals opening weekend celebration presented by Miller Lite. Fans attending the home opener on Thursday, April 14th, will receive a commemorative medallion, compliments of PNC Bank. Then on Saturday, April 16th, fans will receive a 2005 schedule magnet sponsored by Southwest Airlines. And on Sunday, April 17th, all young fans will take home a poster of the Nationals' new mascot, courtesy of Senville, Baltimore. Receipts, go to nationals.com or call 202-397-SEAT. New pitcher into the ballgame for the Nationals, right-hander Antonio Osuna. Osuna had a good spring, although arrived late. His dad was ill, and he remained at home to tend to him. But last year with the San Diego Padres, Osuna was outstanding late-inning relief. And the Nationals are hoping that Antonio can give them the same type of relief he provided last year for the Padres. He was 2-1 with a 2.45 ERA and 31 appearances for San Diego last year. Antonio, 31 years of age, out of Sinaloa, Mexico, one of 4 Mexican ball players on the Nationals roster. Osuna, pretty much a fastball, slider, changeup pitcher. He also has a screwball. And that is his outpitch. He'll be facing Pat Burrell, Kenny Lofton, and David Bell, the numbers 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Phillies. And they have been productive. Burrell has knocked in a pair of runs. Lofton has knocked in 3 with his first home run of the season. David Bell has had 2 hits today. So Antonio Osuna to face Pat Burrell, who singled, doubled, and hit a sacrifice fly. 2 for 2. Burrell with a run scored. First pitch is line, broken bat, soft looper into right center field for a base hit, his 3rd hit of the day. And I do believe the 2nd time he's picked up a base hit on a broken bat today. Osuna got the ball in, but Burrell was able to fight it off and get enough of it, even though the bat broke. Able to get it into the outfield. Osuna, the 4th pitcher today for Washington. Hernandez worked 4 2/3. Tucker worked the 3rd of an inning. Horgan won, and now Osuna here in the 7th inning. Johnson holding Burrell on at first. Kenny Lofton at the plate. Lofton walked, bounced back to the pitcher, and in a home run just inside the right field foul pole his last time up to knock in 3 and break this game open. He looks at a pitch down low and inside for ball 1. Lofton spending last year with the New York Yankees and did not enjoy his experience in the Bronx. It was a mutual parting. Fastball from Osuna up high, and it's 2-0.
Not often that happens. Guys usually enjoy playing there, going to have a chance to win, but he wanted to play and he wasn't.
2-0 pitch up high for ball 3, and Osuna goes to 3-0 on Lofton.
He kind of popped off early in the year, too. Made it known that he was unhappy with his role, and that didn't help with his manager, really, for the entire year.
Antonio rocks and fires a fastball that misses outside, and Osuna walks Lofton on 4 pitches. So after the broken bat single by Burrell, Lofton gets a 4-pitch walk. And quickly, the Phillies have runners at first and second with nobody out. David Bell, the hitter, has singled twice in 3 trips, has also struck out swinging. And Randy St. Clair wants to go out and talk things over with Brian Schneider and Antonio Osuna. Nationals bullpen is quiet. Phillies have somebody up throwing in the bullpen. David Bell, right-handed hitting third baseman, steps in against Osuna. He checks the runners, comes to the plate, and a fastball is right down the heart, taken for strike number 1. Bell really hounded by back problems throughout training camp. In fact, there was some question as to whether he might have to go DL at one point. But they were able to get the spasms to settle down, and he got some time in toward the end of camp. The 0-1 pitch, a fastball missing, up and away, and it is 1-1.
Tim Worrell was the right-hander up and throwing for the Phillies. He had to close much of the year last year with a bunch of nagging injuries to the left-handed flamethrower, Billy Wagner. Now they have both of those guys down there for the end of the game.
Worrell pretty much the setup guy, and Wagner the closer. Here's the pitch on the inside corner. Fastball taken for strike 2. And the count is 1-2. Outfield playing Bell straight away. Wilkerson a step or 2 toward left center field. Osuna staring in at Brian Schneider for the sign. He has it. The pitch lifted high down the left field line. Out of play. Castilla over in foul territory makes the catch. And there is one down. That ball looked like it was going to make the stands, but that strong wind that's been blowing all day long from left to right not only held it up, but brought it back in a little bit. So Bell fouls out to the third baseman. And Mike Lieberthal, the catcher, will step in. Lieberthal has a single in 3 trips. He also bounced to first and grounded out to third. Burrell with the lead at second. Lofton The lead at first. Osuna from the belt. Fastball at the knees is over for a called strike. So whatever it was that Randy St. Clair had to share with Osuna and Brian Schneider, Antonio took it to heart. Worrell continues to throw in the Phillies bullpen. Osuna stepped off and looked back at Burrow, and Burrow scooted back to the bag at second. It's been a beautiful day for opening day baseball. Here's Osuna's pitch. Took something off, it changed it up and missed inside. It's 1-1. Temperature was in the mid-50s today. Tomorrow it'll be in the 60s, and when we play on Wednesday evening here, it could be 70 degrees at game time. Osuna's pitch fouled off to the first base side and well back in the seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it got a little warmer today than everybody expected. 63 right now. Still feels pretty chilly with the wind, though. All in all, not bad for an opening day.
No, it's fabulous. Of course, it's gotten a little chilly since that sun started to disappear. Chase Utley on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher. Line drive, softly hit out to left center field. It falls in for a base hit. Sledge charging, comes up with it. And they were not going to take any chances at this stage. They held Burrell up. That ball just a flare out of the reach of Christian Guzman. Burrell had to wait a little bit to make sure Guzman couldn't get to it, and as a result had no chance to be waved home. Second hit of the day for Lieberthal.
You mentioned Chase Utley as he's announced as the pinch hitter. The youngster, very popular. Everyone thought he was going to be the starting second baseman, 26 years of age. Last year, 94 games, 266 with 13 homers and 57 RBIs. And he had a great spring, 329, and hit 6 home runs in the spring. How did he not win the job?
I think it's because of the amount of money they signed Placido Polanco for. I figure they better get their money's worth for a while. Utley swings at the first pitch, fouls it back, up over the Nationals dugout. That's about 10, 12 rows back and out of play for strike 1.
And of course, Polanco only hit 397 for the spring.
But it's not a bad platoon. You've got Utley batting from the left side. Polanco hits from the right side. So if you had to get into the untenable situation of platooning, at least you've got 2 guys that are capable with the bat. Osuna, the pitch, it's hit hard to left field. Sledge back on the track and turns and makes the catch on the warning track. Tagging up at third and coming home is Pat Burrell, and the Phillies increased their lead to 8-4.
That double play grounder hit by Sledge in the top of the inning. Boy, it looms large now as the Phillies are able to add to their lead, but Sledge made a real nice play going back on that ball. Was able to look off the ball to find the fence, then turn on the brakes and turn and catch that ball off his left side.
Jimmy Rollins steps in against Osuna. Now runners at first and second and 2 down. And the first pitch from Osuna misses outside for ball 1. Sledge had to sprint to his left and almost overran it. Had to turn back and reach to his right at the last moment to make that catch. Fastball is over at the knees, 1-1. Rollins today has singled, walked, singled again, and flied out to left. 2 for 3 with a run scored. Changeup missed outside. 2-1. Polanco is on deck. Should Rollins keep the inning going? Lofton with the lead at second. Lieberthal. The lead at first. Osuna's pitch lifted to left field. Down the line. Sledge. A long run near the wall. And it is out of play. Just out of play as Trammell went all the way to the wall. I don't know if a fan reached over and grabbed it, but the ball came back out onto the field. Trammell picks it up and flips it back. No, it didn't. He just couldn't get to it. Or either that or a fan did reach out. Looking at the replay, Trammell thought he had a beat on it, and it changed direction. A fan must have touched that.
Yeah, a fan reached out and touched the ball. The umpires didn't rule it as interference because I don't think for sure they could say that Sledge was going to catch it. No argument from the Nationals. Probably out of the view of the dugout anyway for them to really see it.
2-2 pitch on the way up high with a fastball to go 3-2 on Rollins. Antonio Osuna trying to get the Nationals out of this bottom half of the 7th inning without any further damage. And that, after trailing 7-1, scored 2 in the 6th and grabbed another in the 7th and had the bases loaded with 1 out, but couldn't score any more. Phillies with 1 here. Runners moving. Ball is fouled back, and the runners will return, and Osuna will reload again to pitch to Jimmy Rollins.
High-scoring game going on in Denver. Rockies lead the Padres 7-6 in the 6th inning.
Rollins had 73 RBIs last year and has a chance for at least one here. Runners on the move. The pitch is fouled back again as Rollins battles Osuna.
And the Cubs opening up against the Diamondbacks. Bob Melvin managing in Arizona. Cubs scored 2 in the first and 5 in the second. Lead 7-0 in that one. Batting in the top of the second inning, Carlos Zambrano. And Javier Vasquez giving up 10 hits in an inning and 2/3 for Arizona.
Wow. It's a hard day's night. Here's the payoff pitch. Missing down low with a fastball. Ball 4, and Rollins walks to load the bases. Antonio Osuna a little unhappy with himself. And Brian Schneider again asked for time to go out and talk to his reliever. There's no action in the Nationals bullpen. So this is Antonio Osuna's mess to get out of.
We talk about Bob Melvin managing in Arizona. I guess a new era for the Cubs, opening a season without Sammy Sosa. Of course, playing with the Orioles, who opened their season at home against Oakland, and leading the A's 4-0 in the top half of the 9th inning at Camden Yards.
Osuna to face Placido Polanco. And the first pitch is outside, down and away. And now Joey Eichet jumps up and starts loosening. The left-hander with Abreu and Tomey. The next two Phillies hitters due up.
I told him how disappointed we were that we didn't get to see him hit at the end of yesterday's game.
There's a pitch that's called strike 1. Osuna, ball and a strike on Polanco, who flied out to center, grounded to short. He picked up a pair of singles in his last 2 times up. The 1-1 pitch is on the way, straight foul into the seats along the first baseline.
Well, it looks like the Orioles are going to win on opening day. With that 4-0 lead in the 9th, and B.J. Ryan looking to close it. Sosa 2 for 4, no home runs. Rodrigo Lopez gave up no runs in 7 hits over 6, and Orioles scored all their runs off Barry Zito.
Wow.
We'll have details in the postgame show.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded in the home half of the 7th inning. Osuna trying to get Polanco and get out of the inning. A high fly ball deep down the left field line, but Sledge has it. In fact, has to take a step or 2 in as the wind held that one up. And Sledge makes the catch to retire the side. The Phillies score a run and leave the bases loaded. We head to the 8th, 8-4 Philadelphia.
For over 60 years, HP has offered complete solutions, including e-government services, to help federal agencies simplify and unify their infrastructure. They can do the same for your agency. To receive a free e-government consultation, call 1-800-727-5472. That's 1-800-727-5472. Or visit hp.com/info/e-government. That's hp.com/info/e-government.
Hi, today we're using a technique known as guided imagery to show you how Turkey Hill iced tea is a cool thing indeed. Let's begin. You, your car, parking lot. It's so hot you could cook an egg on the hood. So now you're thirsty, pushing a cart in the store. After seeing a sign in your cart that says Turkey Hill iced tea, cold fashioned refreshment, you're off, gliding down the refrigerated aisle to the Turkey Hill iced tea. Bottled cold, shipped cold, and sold cold, so it tastes as fresh as when it was made. Turkey Hill iced tea, cold fashioned for refreshment. Turkey Hill Dairy, Conestoga, PA.
Z104, Washington's modern music. We've got you plugged in with free iPod shuffles just for listening to Z104. Now, here's how it works.
Download and program.
Go to Z104radio.com, and if you're not already a My Z104 member, sign up now. Then listen every Thursday between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Check it out.
If we call your name, call us back within 1 hour, and we'll instantly upgrade you with a new iPod shuffle on Z104.
That's my station.
The Nats play here on Z104 and WFED.
Todd Worrell is the new pitcher into the ball game for the Philadelphia Phillies. A 6'4", 230-pound right-hander, a veteran. 5-6 with the Phillies a year ago and a 3.68 ERA. Appeared in 77 games last year for the Phillies, all of them in relief, had 19 saves. Worked 78 in the 3rd innings. Gave up 75 hits and struck out 64. Brian Schneider is the first fellow that he will face here in the top of the 8th inning, and Tony Blanco has come out on deck. He'll pinch hit for Antonio Osuna. First pitch to Schneider is a slider in off the plate for ball 1. Brian today has a double, has lined to the center fielder and walked. Schneider fouls one back below us, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Schneider finished the training camp strong offensively and has hit the ball hard today. Worrell, the big right-hander, winds and fires, and this one is fouled off. Third base side over by the dugout and on top of the dugout, bouncing harmlessly away. Both Bell and Lieberthal gave it a pretty good chase, but couldn't get to it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The outfield, not playing too deep. Burrow rather shallow in left, as is Lofton in center. Abreu playing deeper in right field. 1-2 pitch on the way. Broken bat looper into right center field. That'll fall in for a base hit. Abreu over to scoop it up and throw it in, and Brian Schneider leads off the 8th with a broken bat single. That is his 2nd hit of the day. That is also the 13th hit for the Nationals. The Nats have 4 runs on 13 hits. They've committed 1 error. The Phillies 8 runs on 13 hits, and they have committed an error. Tony Blanco, one of those battling for a job in camp and making the club to come north, will get his first at bat of the season to pinch hit for the pitcher. Blanco looks at a fastball up and away for ball 1 from Worrell. Blanco certainly earned his spot on the roster. 268 in training camp. A fastball misses inside for ball 2. Blanco was a pinch hitter only twice during training camp without getting a hit. But overall, he had 11 hits and 41 at-bats. Schneider being held on by Tomey. Here's Worrell's pitch. Swung on and missed. He blew a fastball by Blanco. And it's 2-1. Brad Wilkerson is on deck.
This time a year ago, Blanco was getting ready to open the season for Class A Potomac in the Reds organization.
Come a long way in a short time. Fouls that fastball off and got now even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He got as far as Double-A last year in the Reds organization at Chattanooga, and 12 home runs there. He had 17 hitting .306 at Potomac, so he has some pop.
He is excited to be part of this ball club starting the season. Asks for time and gets it, as Worrell took a long time. All kinds of hot dog wrappers blowing around the field here at Citizen Bank Park. What a shame. Such a beautiful ballpark. Worrell has his sign. Schneider is lead. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Missing down and away, and it's 3-2.
Blanco, essentially the last man he beat out to win a job was the veteran Carlos Baerga. Blanco can play first. He can play the outfield, and they were happy with what they saw of him at third. Baerga said the kind of talent he has in the field and with the bat, I would have made that move too.
Worrell from the belt to the plate, swing and a miss, strike 3. Put a little extra on that one. Turned it over, and Blanco just kind of swung through and over the ball. So that brings up Brad Wilkerson with 1 out. Schneider the runner at first. Joey Eischen continues to loosen in the Nationals bullpen. We'll see him in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch to Wilkerson, fouled off to the left side and out of play. Brad singled his first time up. Grounded out to Tomey at first, and there was a strikeout victim the last 2 times up, including against Real Cormier. Worrell has his sign. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Lieberthal. And the count goes to a ball and a strike.
Did you see Joey Eichen's outfit, travel day outfit yesterday? With that wool New York Jets cap pulled down, and he was carrying 2 golf clubs wrapped up with like socks on the end of them. And when we walked through the train station, I don't think people were sure what he was doing.
Pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 1-2. I'm not sure a lot of his teammates probably did.
I mean, the people in the train stations might have thought he looked kind of scary, but that might have been his intent.
Did he ask if he could play through?
I don't think anybody wanted to ask him anything.
He is a character. Schneider with the lead at first, loosely held by Tomey. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3, Wilkerson. Pulled by that pitch, a changeup. 79-mile-an-hour pitch that was down and off the plate. Third time today that Brad has gone down swinging.
Great change of speed by Worrell.
The hitter is Christian Guzman. Guzman switching back to the left side against the righty Worrell. Hits a chopper on 2 hops, handled by Tomey at first. He'll step on the bag to retire the side. So the Nationals squander the leadoff single by Brian Schneider and go quietly in the 8th. After 7.5, Phillies 8, Nationals 4.
Diane Kepley here. It's great that Washington has baseball again. Sean Anderson and I are on WTOP Radio every weekday afternoon from 2 to 7. We've got what you need when you get out of work, the latest news, traffic and weather every 10 minutes, sports and money news. And we can usually find a funny or oddball story to give you a laugh after that hectic workday. Keep up with your Washington Nationals on WTOP Radio. You'll find us at 1500 and 820 on your AM dial or 107.7 on your FM dial. Keep up with the Nationals and the Orioles on WTOP Radio.
Hi, it's Z104's Jenny for Lay's. With baseball season here, that means summer is just around the corner. Are you ready for the shorts and tank tops? Well, I am because I've been Lay's. Lay's is the most recommended laser hair removal provider in D.C., having performed over 70,000 treatments.
Join Lay's for the countdown to summer the week of April 11th and save up to 40% off Lay's laser hair removal packages and 30% off skin aesthetic packages. Call 1-877-55-ALASE. That's 1-877-552-5273 or visit getalays.com. Sarah McLachlan, Maroon 5, Peter Gabriel, No Doubt. Real musicians making real music. Modern music. It's just what you want from a music station. Listen to Washington's modern music on Z104. In Upper Montgomery and Frederick County, listen on 103.9 FM. And everywhere else in D.C. at 104.1 FM. And listen online at Z104radio.com. Write it down.
Washington's only official home of the Nationals, Z104 and WFED.
Before we start the home half of the 8th, let's take 15 seconds for station identification along the Washington Nationals radio network.
Z104, 104.1 WWZZ Waldorf, Washington, 103.9 WWBZ Braddock Heights, Frederick, and WFED Silver Spring, Washington, Federal News Radio AM 1050.
Welcome back to Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Dave Shea and Charlie Slows with you on opening day. The Nats have their work cut out, down by 4 with the Phillies batting in the home half of the 8th inning in the heart of their order. Up to face reliever Joey Eischen, the left-hander. Had a 4.70 ERA and 8 outings in spring training, and he'll face the tough-hitting outfielder Bobby Abreu to start with and bust a fastball in on the belt off the plate for ball 1. Abreu today has struck out, singled, flied out to center, flied out to left. Left-handed hitting right fielder, Bobby Abreu. Eischen takes the deep dip, goes to the belt, and the pitch is fouled off into the upper deck along the third baseline. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eischen against Abreu has been touched up for 4 hits and 15 at-bats over the years. Abreu hitting .267 against the Nationals lefty. Joey has struck him out 6 of those 15 at-bats. Eischen to the belt. Here's the pitch. A high fly ball down the left field line, slicing foul and out of play, and the count will go to 1-2.
Now they're getting the flamethrower ready out there. Billy Wagner, lefty in the Phillies bullpen now.
Nationals had a chance to make a real dent in the 7th inning, pushing a run across and having the bases loaded with 1 out. But Ryan Madsen got Termel Sledge to hit into a double play to end the inning. Breaking ball from Eischen is in the dirt outside, handled by Schneider. And the count goes to 2-2. Another tough left-handed hitter. On deck, Jim Tomey. He'll be followed by Pat Burrell, who's had a perfect day. 3 hits with 2 runs and 2 knocked in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Eichen's pitch. Breaking ball just missed outside. Abreu checked his swing, laid off it. The count is now full, 3-2. Off day tomorrow for these clubs. Game 2 of the 3-game series, Wednesday night at 7:05, and then a 1:05 start. Thursday afternoon, getaway day. Club will be headed to Florida for the weekend series with the Marlins. 3-2 pitch, pulled on the ground to second base. Pedro up with it, on to first in time as Abreu quickly down the line made it a lot closer play than it would seem. So Eischen gets the lead man in the 8th inning, and that brings up Jim Tomey, who has struck out twice, flied to left, and was walked intentionally and scored ahead of Kenny Lofton on Lofton's 3-run homer back in the 5th inning. So the Phillies scored 4 to break up a close ball game. Eichen's first pitch to Tomey is inside for ball 1. Joey always pitches from the stretch. whether there's runners on or not. And has a unique windup as he'll bend over at the waist very deeply before coming set at the belt. Here's the pitch. That one inside. Did that hit Tomey? He was looking at his hands as if it did. But I didn't see Gary Darling mention that it was a hit fastball. He's working his way toward first, so it did hit him, and it obviously hurt him. The trainer coming out to take a look.
You know, Tomey's had his problems with injuries to his hands and his thumbs the past couple of years, and he does get hit because of certainly the type of hitter he is, the power he possesses, but he also does crowd the plate, and so he will get hit by pitches.
Well, Tomey is still talking to the Phillies trainer and the first base coach, Mark Bombard. And Jim is going to stay in the ball game and go down to first. So the Phillies get a base runner with one out. That'll bring up Pat Burrell. Burrell singled and scored in the second. Doubled in a run in the third. Hit a sacrifice fly in the fifth. And singled and scored in the seventh. Good opening day for Pat Burrell as he looks at ball one. Big things expected of Pat Burrell, who has had a roller coaster career. Right-handed hitting left fielder. Here's Eichen's pitch. Swung on and foul down the right field line. Well out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wagner continues to loosen in the Phillies bullpen, and Luis Ayala getting loose in the Nationals bullpen. Eichen checks on Tomey at first, not being held. Pitch is ripped foul into the seats just past the Nationals dugout behind third base. Somebody made a heck of a catch down there. I don't know if I'd be willing to stick my bare hands out to try to snag that.
Well, it didn't hurt that much. He just gave the guy next to him 2 high fives.
Yeah, I was just going to say. High fives and pass the bag of ice.
2 high fives.
Yeah, I was just going to say. High fives and pass the bag of ice.
2 high fives.
Yeah, I was just going to say. High fives and pass the bag of ice. Tomey with the lead at first. Here's Eichen's pitch. A fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2.
I could never do that. I had small hands. It's always harder when you get small. Did you see the pair of mitts on that guy?
That hurts big hands.
Especially in cold weather. I never liked hitting in the cold weather, and that stinks.
Yeah, that's a definition of tough. Eichen from the belt to the plate in the dirt, blocked by Schneider, and no chance for advancement by Tomey. And the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Pat Burrell. Jack Day will be starting Wednesday night's game against Brett Myers. And Esteban Loaiza will work the Thursday matinee against left-hander Randy Wolf. Eichen looks at Tomey, now comes to the plate. It's fouled off to the first base side in the second deck. So the count will hold. 3-2. Kenny Lofton getting ready in the on-deck circle.
We'll see if Ryan Church is able to play possibly by Wednesday. Originally, Frank Robinson thought that Randy Wolf, the lefty, was going to throw on Wednesday and that he'd keep Church out of the lineup until Thursday.
Eichen has his sign, the payoff pitch. Fastball up high for ball 4. The Phillies with runners now at first and second. So Eichen, after getting Bobby Abreu to bounce out, has hit Tomey and has walked Burrell. And Kenny Lofton will come up, and Randy St. Clair will take a run out to the mound. Talk things over with Eichen. Lofton today, a walk, bouncing back to Hernandez, and then he drilled a line shot home run that hugged the line and was fair just inside the pole for a 3-run homer that really broke this game open. He walked his last time up in the 7th.
The bullpen's been a bit shaky today. Never an easy inning. But amazingly, they've only surrendered 1 run.
Well, Nationals pitching has had only 1 1-2-3 inning, and that was Levon Hernandez in the 4th. Pitch to Lofton, a breaking ball is outside for ball 1.
Since they've gone to the bullpen, Tucker got the last out of the 5th inning. Phillies left the bases loaded each of the last 2 innings.
And now 2 on and 1 out. Tomey with the lead at second. Burrow, the lead at first. Lofton, left-handed hitter against the lefty Eichen. The pitch is fouled back into the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. the presence of Lofton in the batting order, 6th in the order today. Gives Charlie Manuel some backside insurance in case there's any injury to Jimmy Rollins, the shortstop who bats leadoff. Lofton throughout his career has been one of the best leadoff hitters. Isham checks on the runners. The 1-1 pitch. Just missed outside. The slider took a little bit off it. Just missed outside. 2-1. The wind continues to blow hard from left to right. Isham's 2-1 pitch. Foul back just below us. One fella just in front of us reached over so far that a concerned friend sitting next door grabbed him by the belt so that he wouldn't go over the edge of the balcony.
That railing's not very high, and you stand up. You're reaching for a ball. But see, the guy next to him had the late Richie Ashburn's jersey on, so
good hand.
Yeah, it was going to work out.
Fastball misses outside, and the count is full, 3-2. Well, Isham went full on Burrow before walking him, and now is full on Kenny Lofton. Isham needs to bear down here. Joey has his sign from the belt to the plate. Lined into left center field. Base hit. Wilkerson faked as if he was going to have a chance to catch it, and that forced Thome to slow down just a bit, and it prevents the Phillies from waving Thome home.
Nice little decoy there. Hard to read for Thome anyway. Outfielders that do that put the glove up like they're going to catch it. Here comes Frank with the hook.
Slowly making his way to the mound.
He didn't make any pitching changes during spring training. Randy St. Clair made all of those, and Frank has come out a couple of times today. And so we're going to stay right here during this pitching change. And the Nats will go to the bullpen one more time for right-hander Luis Ayala to face David Bell. As for the third inning in a row, the Phillies load the bases. Reminder to stay with us after the game, where Nationals wrap up, as Dave will have the highlights of this game, the play of the game, and we'll pick a player of the game. And then we'll run down the other opening day games around the major leagues. Not everybody open today. There are more openers tomorrow. But a total of 4 other games in the National League and 5 openers in the American League, including the Orioles, with a win in their opener at Camden Yards over Oakland. All coming up on Nationals Wrap-Up. That's what we call it.
It's a catchy name. How did you come up with that title?
Hey.
We got to talk to the marketing department. We do a little bit better than Wrap-Up, I think.
What would you like to call it?
I'm going to need some time. I'll use tomorrow's day off to sit around the hotel and come up with
You can't do it tomorrow. You're contractually...
Oh, we're not supposed to work at all. All right. Luis Ayala had a 4.00 ERA during training camp in 9 appearances, working 9 innings. He gave up 10 hits.
They had a lot of decisions last year. 81 times out of the Expos bullpen. 6-12 record. A lot of decisions. 2.69 ERA with 2 saves. 90 in the third innings. 92 hits. Struck out 63 and walked 15 with 6 homers, 5 at-batters. A 268 average against him. And Frank Robinson has talked about using him if need be to close games. Situations where Chad Cordero was declared the closer beginning of the year officially yesterday. There are situations where he's been used 2 or 3 days in a row and you're going to give your closer a day off. Ayala would be one of the guys who get the chance. Fastball in the low 90s. Slider. His fastball runs toward right-handers. He'll move it in and out. Good move to first base to hold runners.
Well, he's got a right-hander here in David Bell. These two have met previously, and Bell is 1 for 5 against Ayala, who has 1 strikeout of Bell. The bases are loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. The Phillies leading 8-4. Ayala trying to put the fire out here and give the Nats a chance in the 9th. A broken bat, line drive, double play, and Johnson grabs it and steps on the bag. 1 pitch, 2 outs, and the Nats are out of the inning. How about that? No runs, a hit, 2 men are left on. We go to the 9th with the Phillies leading 8-4.
Never lose power in your home or business, and you'll never have to with a backup power system from Banner Power Company. Whether you're a telecommuter or have a web or home-based business, you can't afford to lose time or data due to a power failure. You can count on the Banner Backup Power System to keep your computers, home office, refrigerator, lighting, electronics, and phone system running smoothly without interruption. Weather forecasters have predicted severe storms for the mid-Atlantic region this summer. So now is the time to have backup power from Banner Power. It's so dependable, it automatically recharges itself when utility power is restored. And no annual maintenance contract is required. Don't be caught without power. Call Banner Power at 301-231-6901. That's 301-231-6901. Or check them out on WTOPnews.com's homepage or bannerbackup.com.
Hey, it's JV Z104's Nighttime DJ. Every weeknight at 7 o'clock, we bring you the top 5 most downloaded songs in the D.C. area. Songs like this.
I don't wanna be lonely anymore. Father's ticket to your darling.
So if you're curious as to what's being downloaded in D.C., check out Z104 weeknights at 7 o'clock for D.C. downloads.
Broadcasting live from the SAIC broadcast booth. This is the Z104 WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Well, Phillies closer Billy Wagner is on to try to wrap this thing up and to bring you the call here in the ninth. Here's Charlie Slows.
All right, thank you, Dave Shea. 33-year-old left-handed Billy Wagner. Signature pitch is the 100-mile-an-hour fastball from the left side. It fires people up when they're at game. There it comes, and the first pitch swing by Jose Vidro. Pulls one on the ground, foul outside of third as he turns back around to bat from the right side of the plate. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Wagner at 11 appearances during the spring. Last year, 45 games, 4-0 record, 2.42 ERA, 21 saves and 25 tries. And the pitch taken outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 inning for Tim Worrell, gave up a hit, struck out 2 through 15 pitches. And the next one on the way is inside and low.
There aren't too many guys on this Nationals roster, Charlie, that have had a lot of luck with Wagner. One of them, though, is Vinny Castilla. He's gone 4 for 6 with 2 homers.
Wow. Get him up there. Swinging a ground ball right side. Polanco to his left is on the outfield grass. Second baseman has it with a throw to first to Tomas Perez, who's replaced Jim Thome at first base. That hand might have been bothering Thome. They get him out of there. Probably get ice on it, maybe some x-rays for precaution. And reserve infielder Tomas Perez into the game in the 9th inning, playing first base after Thome was hit on the hand by the Choey Aishin pitch in the last of the 8th. Jose Guillen the batter, and he takes the low and inside, ball 1. Vidro 1 out of 5 today. Guillen 1 for 4, single to left last time up. Wagner features that big fastball and then a slider that's in the upper 80s to around 90. Fastball in the dirt that time. 2 balls, no strikes. That one at 95 miles an hour. Ball thrown out of play. 8 runs, 14 hits, an error for the Phillies. For the Nationals, 4 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. As this sellout crowd has thinned some, 44,080 paid to be here. And the pitch in there, a called strike, 2-1. When they introduce the teams in the public address system, they welcome the brand new Washington Nationals playing their first game here at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Fastball again, driven to center field. Lofton moving back, he's there, and he makes the catch. Wynn knocked that one down. That ball was hit hard by Jose Guillen. So 2 outs, nobody on. Nationals down to their last out, and will get a pinch hitter. Will Cordero will come up here and bat for Nick Johnson. Johnson was 2 for 3 with a walk, pair of singles, and a run scored today. And so Will Cordero, 3rd time around a member of this organization, first time as a National. And Cordero 0 for 2 against Wagner, takes a called strike. Cordero, surgery to each knee last year, and so he saw limited playing time for the Florida Marlins. Cordero had a total of only 66 at-bats. Takes the next one inside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. They're on their feet here. They're on their feet here in Philadelphia for what they hope is the last out. Phillies lead at 8-4 with 2 out of the 9th inning. Wagner delivers, and Cordero takes outside 2-1 to the right-handed swinger. Cordero, 33 years of age. 2 years ago with Montreal in 2003. Hit .278 with 16 homers, 71 RBIs. He'll probably play first base against a lot of the left-handed starters. Here's the pitch by Wagner. Inside and low. It's 3 balls and a strike. On deck is Vinny Castilla, the guy you want to get to the plate. But the Nats are down 4. The pitch, swing and a miss. He came right at him that time with a 95-mile-an-hour heater. And the Nationals are down to their last strike. Wagner from the stretch all of the time. Kicks, and fires a swing and a ground ball to third, gobbled up by Bell. The throw across to Tomas Perez, who handles it, keeping his foot on the bag, and the ball game is over. Billy Wagner comes out of the bullpen to retire the Nationals in order, 1, 2, 3 in the ninth inning. So Charlie Manuel and his coaching staff, the rest of the Phillies reserves out to shake hands as the Nationals go down to defeat in their first game ever, their first game in 2005 here in Philadelphia. We'll come back with the totals in a moment. Right now the final score in the Nationals' inaugural game. The Philadelphia Phillies 8 and the Washington Nationals 4.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals and Major League Baseball. This is the Z104 WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network.
Mike Vaughn and Richard Day here. It's great that Washington has baseball again. Wake up with us every weekday morning on WTOP Radio to keep up with your Washington Nationals. We've got the latest news, traffic and weather every 10 minutes, and sports and money news. Fascinating interviews with the best and brightest newsmakers, commentators, and analysts. Oh, and we still tell you about the Orioles. You'll find us at 1500 and 820 on your AM dial or 107.7 on your FM dial. Keep up with the Nationals and the Orioles on WTOP Radio.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I love college. Really. I never knew living on my own could be so, good for me. Mom, Dad, just, listen home a little. Boy, I miss waking up to warm socks straight from the dryer. Warm socks?
Family. Isn't it about time?
Hi, Smart. Love you guys. Bye.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Sarah McLachlan, Maroon 5, Peter Gabriel, No Doubt. Real musicians making real music. Modern music. It's just what you want from a music station. Listen to Washington's modern music on Z104. In Upper Montgomery and Frederick County, listen on 103.9 FM. And everywhere else in D.C. at 104.1 FM. And listen online at Z104radio.com. Write it down.
Back here in Philadelphia, where the Phillies have defeated the Nationals this afternoon. Final score and final line score. The Phillies 8 runs, 14 hits, an error, and 11 men left on base. For the Nationals, 4 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. They left 10 men on. John Lieber went 5 2/3 innings. He gave up 3 runs and 10 hits, struck out 2, walked 1. Through 99 pitches, 69 for strikes is the winner. And, of course, he is 1-0. The losing pitcher, Livan Hernandez, 4 2/3 innings. 7 runs and 8 hits, struck out 4 and walked 2, unintentional, allowed the big 3-run homer to Kenny Lofton, throwing 92 pitches. No save in the game. Billy Wagner finished it with 14 pitches in a 1-2-3 ninth inning. So the Phillies are 8-4 winners over the Nationals on opening day 2005, the first ever for the Washington Nationals. Day off for both teams tomorrow. We weren't kidding. And then we're back with you on Wednesday night. Airtime will be 6:40 pregame, 7:05 first pitch. Zach Day was 5-10 last year against Brett Myers, a right-hander for the Phillies, who was 11-11 with a lofty 5.52 ERA. But much more still to come. Nationals wrap-up is straight ahead on the Washington Nationals Radio Network.
You've been listening to Washington Nationals Baseball with Charlie Slows and Dave Shea. Stay tuned for the postgame show next on the Z104 WFED Washington Nationals Radio Network.